Hey everybody, I'm Yvonne with Back to Earth Creations and welcome to today's live stream. We are going to be showing off some of the new cabochons that we have in stock at backtoearthcreations.com. So that's gonna be fun. We're gonna look at those. We're gonna pick some orders because we've already had 2 orders placed today. Thank you guys so much. If you find yourself in a shopping mood, be sure to use coupon code HAPPYCRAFTER or keep an eye out for your email because you'll have gotten the 20% off coupon code for our Happy Crafter Club. So like all of our YouTube channel members, all of our Craft-A-Thon Kit subscribers, be sure to check your email. We're gonna be wire wrapping these bad boys today, and I'm so excited because we're gonna be using some 16 gauge and maybe some other stuff as well. How do I find my own live stream? There it goes. I found it. It's okay. How are all y'all doing this week? Hey Mare, hey Barbie. I'm actually gonna start off by picking Barbie's order. So this week, y'all, okay, so I've been trying to tidy up the house because like I'm still doing spring cleaning from like 2017. I don't know if that's relatable at all, but it is what it is. I found a tray of some overflow cabochons that we had from previous like kits and shop updates and stuff. So a bunch of the gemstones that I didn't think we were going to be able to have in stock anytime soon, we now have in stock, but it's just this tray. So we have, hey Diane, hey Angie, how are you guys doing today? Good afternoon from Texas Hill Country outside of Austin, Texas. I'm busy working on greeting cards. Oh, that's awesome. Do you do them by hand or do you use a Cricut? Like, how do you do your greeting cards? Your makeup is so bright and cheery today. Oh, thank you. I wanted to be like in a color scheme. It is spring today, you guys, and it's springing off big time. So I've been spending a lot of time in the garden this week, hence my sunburnt cheeksies, but that's okay. And Mr. Puddums is laying all dramatically on the porch like nobody loves him, but I love him, I promise. And it's been doing my heart so much good to be spending so much time outside and to see, gosh, the forsythia, the daffodils, most of our muscari or a great hyacinth, everything just got freaking wrecked by the entire redbud tree. You guys, like wrecked by like some 18-degree weather that came through, but some of my tulips made it, and I replanted all of my peas and spring greens. But in the midst of like trying to plant my peas, I saw some of them are still sprouting, so I just like put like the dirt back on top and was like, okay, I'll see you in a week when you get done poking up through the soil. But it was my first time using the garden hose since getting it fixed, and oh my god, I can't wait for this year's garden. But anyways, that's for on our Vonster vlog and making it on a quarter YouTube channels if you guys are interested in geeking out about plants with me. But today we're geeking out about rocks because these rocks rock. This one's one of Randy's favorite varieties. It is howlite. And I actually I need to like learn these things because my brain is hungry. So I'm going to pull this book off the shelf. You might not recognize one of these. They're called books. I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm like this, but this is, if you are like, because I'm a little bit of like a metaphysical girly. I love it. I'm like, I mean, I don't know, unless, but I'm so excited about rocks and like all of the lore around them. Like I love the historic lore, but this book here is just the science of the stones. So it's Gemstones of the World. This one was published by Sterling Publishing. And let's see, here in the front, does it say which edition this is? It's by Walter Schumann. This is the 13th edition. Goodness gracious. Terminology. No, it kind of just jumps right to it. But yeah, so give that one a Google. I find this an invaluable resource in my home library. Okay, so it says newly revised. Look at that though. I mean, just beautiful pictures of rocks. This is like a museum in my mind, and it has, this is the inner cover for like, and then the back has like a globe map, like a world map with the different, like here in the United States, you can find aquamarine, chalcedony, emerald, feldspars, garnet, nephrite, peridot, quartz, ruby, sapphire. I don't even know how to pronounce that one. Spadumen. Topaz, tourmaline, and turquoise. But like, so that's really cool. And there's got to be some other stuff too, like probably. But it's fantastic because you can go through and see pictures of specimens, both raw and in cabochon. And so I want to find howlite. How have you been? Hey, sassy cat. I'm doing really well today. So like, that's pretty cool. That's a pretty good start. And we antiqued the necklace that we had made in one of our other live streams, which I think I actually did a video on this one, and I finally finished the necklace for it. And this piece in particular will be up into the auction, because we're having an auction a week from today, right here on YouTube, same time, 3 to 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I'm exited. I have a cube howlite. Ooh, says a mare. I forgot how to spell it. I need more coffee. I'm a metaphysical gal too. I love my gemstone Bibles, right? Hey, pro, how's it going? Woohoo, love auctions. Me too, bro. Me too. Ooh, well, hey, Lynn in New Zealand. Wow, I'm going to be honest, I've never seen a picture or video from New Zealand that wasn't just absolutely gorgeous. So I'm a little bit envious of you living out here in just flat ass Missouri. Like, I'm right in between the Ozarks and the Great Plains, so there's not a lot going on. But I like to think I'm picturing beautiful New Zealand right now. Glad hubby just got home. All right, on by hand, really. Well, that's really cool, Leanne, in regards to your gift greeting cards. Sorry, words are hard. We're looking for howlite, baby. But it has, they're ordered by density. Like, I love that. I don't know what it means, but I love it. They go into like the different types of deposits, and I'm just going to hop over to the index in the back because I want to see where howlite is like mined, and I just want to read to y'all a little bit about howlite. H-O-W, page 224. Books. I'm trying to use my brain more because this thing's rotting. The gray matter between my ears has turned straight to soup. Does it not have its own section? Gemstones for collectors. Okay. It says howlite is milky white, frequently dispersed with black or dark brown veins. I'm going to be honest, I've never seen it with brown. Color of streak is white. It's opaque. The Mohs hardness is 3 to 3.5, which I feel like is pretty soft. And then, so here's an example of howlite, and then there's it dyed. So a lot of the times I'll see it as a faux turquoise, but I'm gonna be honest, I love that color of blue anyways, like so much. And I'm not a prude. Even if a gemstone's dyed, if it's pretty, it's pretty. So here we have some opalite. And this is Z2. I wish my books had a Mohs hardness scale. That would be helpful, right? It's gemstones of the world. If I had thought ahead, I should have done like an Amazon link or something, but you'll be able to find it, I'm sure. You can get Herkimer diamonds? Oh my God. That would be so cool. Howlite's one of my favorite. It's a man-made glass, but not howlite. Opalite, that's what I'm looking at right this second. But it's like a borosilicate glass, and I just love the milky kind of light dispersion that's in there. We've got a bunch of those. We've got some rose quartz. Now this is natural rose quartz, which is actually almost the exact same color as my skin. So I am a rose quartz colored person, which I take it. I'm very pink. It's okay. But so whenever I wear rose quartz, it's like it disappears on my skin. So whenever I wear it, I like to wear it set in vintage bronze or like a nice like antique copper, usually with some labradorite or moss agate is one of my favorites to pair with it, just for me personally. But okay, my mare. That's a fun fact. You are rose quartz, right? I'm not exaggerating. It just blends. At least to my eye, it does, which is okay. Hey, Timmy, how's it going? So here is some beautiful green aventurine. And we have all of the stones that we uploaded to the shop this week are 30 by 22 millimeter. So if you like to use tray bezels or you want a bunch of like matching, these would be a little large for earrings, but look at the flash in that tiger's eye, you guys. And then we have some more opalite and rose quartz, and I'm going to show you one last one. We have some red jasper. So there's more pictures of each of the different gemstone cabochons that we've gotten uploaded to the website on the website, backtoearthcreations.com. But I'm gonna go ahead and pick orders, and then we're gonna get to wire wrapping, because just in case, like, have any of y'all gotten your kits yet in the mail? Because I really hope. We've had some delays with like shipping stuff because of like weather and things. Hey London girl, oh, how are you doing? Love the necklace. Oh, thank you. I made it. It's actually using one of the cabochons that we're sending out in our March craft along kits that we had made actually in February, but we didn't have running water for like 39 days. So we weren't able to produce any new cabochons for March. So what I did is I went through and I added a groove to them to make it spicy. Spice it up for y'all. Ooh, Lynn says, what's your best video for beginner wrapping in wire? I would super duper recommend our wire wrapping masterclass. It's free. You can find it here on YouTube, or you can find it with no ads or anything over on our website, backtoearthcreations.com. I have to take a drink every time I say that. That's a new rule. Where you can watch all 7 videos that are a very solid foundation for just getting you familiar with working with wire, because a lot of folks want to like jump into wrapping cabs like right away. But one of the things that I really like getting people started on is just making little wire wrapped links. It's going to build up your like eye-hand coordination, but eye plier coordination. And it just, if you just make a bracelet, suddenly you've got, depending on the size of link that you're making, anywhere from 6 to 10 links worth of practice, under your belt, and practice will help you make progress in all things. So check out our wire wrapping masterclass that we have here for free. All of our tutorials are for free, but I just like to put the emphasis on that. And then we do a groovy wrap style of cabochon that I think is the most beginner friendly way of like setting cabs. Let me actually grab some examples of that for you. These are a couple that we got made last week in our Friday live stream. And so you can see here on this one, this is one of our labradorite cabochons that I had done the groove into. And so this just settles in, and it's not going to go anywhere. Like we would have to break it to get, or cut the wire to get the stone to come out now that it's done being wrapped. And this way you don't have to juggle like 3 or 4 different wires around the edge or anything like that. And that's the style we're going to be wrapping today. And then also Oksana Crafts and CSL Designs and Kelly Jones Jewelry and Southern Unique Handmade. Like I'm not getting their names right, but there are so many really fantastic teachers, you guys. Like, oh my God, this, like, AI slop aside, the crafting side of YouTube is like, I wish that existed back whenever I was learning how to make jewelry. Like that's part of the reason why I started making tutorials, was I was like, I took the really slow and expensive way of like learning curve of trying to like figure out how to I just wanted to wear rocks on my body like basically and like go to the Ren Fair. Um and there just wasn't a whole lot of information out there for free, and I was like, I either have money for beads or a tutorial. I can't do both. So, but here we are. Here we are in 2026, and welcome to the internet. But there's a lot of really fantastic teachers out there. So I might not be your best fit for like, I'm real chatty and it takes me a while to get to the point, but there's a lot of really great teachers out there. So just because if I'm not vibing with you, or rather if you're not vibing with me, then there might be other like better teachers out there who just fit perfect. Like Oksana, I love her teaching style. Well, hey, Mary Beth, thank you so much for the subscription. I'm going to just take an opportunity to tell everybody, if you do like our videos, please sign up for our free newsletter. That way you don't have to rely on YouTube's notifications, and you'll get coupons, and you'll be the first to know when we have new tutorials as well as live streams, because we do stream here on Fridays here at from 3 to 6 p.m. here on YouTube, but then Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, we stream over on kick.com, KICK.com, and there's no ads over there, you guys, which is really nice. But, so just to let you guys know. Well, hey, Sharon. Sharon says you taught me so much. Oh, that makes me so happy. Like, it gives me such a sense of purpose to be able to be helpful to y'all. So thank you guys for being here, because otherwise, it's a little lonely. Hey, Bodega. What's on the bench today? We're going to be wrapping these absolute chunk. Like, that's about a me-sized pendant, and I love it. But last week, we did this style of wire wrap on a very petite stone. Or at least I think that's pretty petite. But, oh, I just love that lab. And so I'm going to try to adapt that same wrap onto a huge O stone and to use it with 16 gauge wire. And then Propol had said, what you drinking? Coffee. So ignore the keto chow. That's just, it's my only shaker cup. But I make ice cubes out of coffee, like when it's cold, and I'll pour it into the ice cube tray. And then at Sam's Club, they had this like mocha protein powder. That's like a double shot of espresso. So I'm going to go fast today. And then I just make that with like milk. And then I put a whole tablespoon of fiber and then a whole tablespoon of cocoa powder in it as well. So it's a little doctored up, but we missed breakfast today, so I didn't want to, I guess. Woo! Excuse me. Pardon me. I can't believe I caught this vlog. I love your videos and style. You inspire me so much and remind me there are lovely people out there in the world. Oh, Sarah! Thank you. Thank you for saying so. And thank you for being here. What are you up to today? I think I have more sneezes coming. But thank you, guys. No way! Rachel says the first video I ever watched was yours in 2020, and I fell in love with wire wrapping. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, you're good, Sarah. Hey, Nat. Hey, Enchanted. Ooh. Okay, I'm just trying to make sure. Hey, Cherry, how are you doing? Cheryl, sorry. Thanks are fun to Mare. I'm waiting for my kit. I have an order coming tomorrow. Ooh, and that will have to hold me over till my kit comes. Okay. And Mare says, my mom wants to give me her bead stash. Oh. I think I'm going to use those to practice links. Well, 100%. Definitely. Okay. I'm going to pick some orders real quick, you guys. And again, if anything catches your eye at our website, backtoearthcreations.com, be sure to use coupon code HAPPYCRAFTER to get 10% off, or check your newsletter to get that 20% off coupon. Ooh, okay. So this one, everybody say bye-bye to this cabochon. This beautiful tiger's eye is going off to its new home. Tiger's eye was my first love. It was the first gemstone that I think I was at the stockyard in Texas. My dad had just passed away, and it was like one of the first like family bonding events that I was doing, that I was there for with the family I was living with. And they had that like a big old whiskey barrel full of rocks. It wasn't really like it was stuffed and only like the top, this part was full of rocks, but it felt like, you know, to me, freshman in high school, I could like just dig in there, and the tiger's eye was one that I could recognize. And so then whenever the first time I ever went to a Hobby Lobby, that's a gateway drug right there, I could recognize tiger's eye. And I remember I'd gotten some tiger's eye chip beads, and like they had like these ovals that were drilled front to back with like a pinch bail on it. The pinch bail made my skin peel, and I had used some, was it memory wire? I don't know, but I remember I didn't have the right cutters. I didn't have any of the right tools, so I ended up just bending it until it broke, and then was able to make like a little springy necklace, and I wore that to the Ren Fair one year, and I was just so excited. That was tiger's eye was my first love. It got me into this whole mess. Craft stores are portals to addiction. Amen. Let me see. I want to read to y'all about tiger's eye because I want to learn about it. Ooh, 140, page 140. Okay. See what I mean though? Like, look at those beautiful specimens. I remember the first time I saw raw tiger's eye. I didn't know it could be more beautiful than whenever it's polished, but raw tiger's eye really is gorgeous. So the book is reading, formed from hawk's eye, see above, which is a finely fibrous, opaque aggregate formed when quartz replaces the mineral crocodolite, which is a type of asbestos, blue-gray to blue-green. Hawkeye. Well, iridescent of planes, fractures have a silky luster. I don't even know what that means, but I love the way it sounds. It is sensitive to some acids. Oh my goodness. Found associated with tiger's eye, used for ornamental objects and costume jewelry, which I kind of hate that term, but I get it. Cabochons show chatoyance, a small ray of light on the surface, which is reminiscent of the eye of a bird of prey. Even flat pieces show a similar effect. I am going to say I think tiger's eye does make one of the most beautiful chip beads. Like tiger's eye and labradorite are just, they're favorites of mine. Okay, so then the tiger's eye entry says, and I'm going to show you a bead. I'm going to show you a bead while we talk about it, because I'm hoping that I'll learn. And I'm so sorry I've got the sniffles. It's springing. Formed from hawk's eye, where the iron from the decomposed crocodolite has oxidized to a brown color, keeping the fibrous structure. The luster is silky. I can see that. On fractures, typically displays chatoyant stripes, which let me find an example. I bet this one's a good example. Is this I don't know very much about this stuff. I just play with rocks, but is this an example of chatoyant stripes? Because I just love it. Because structural fibers are crooked or bent. It is sensitive to some acids found together with hawk's eye in slabs of a few inches of thickness. I wonder what the thickest slab of tiger's eye like ever found. Ooh. Most important deposits are found in South Africa, where the export of raw material is forbidden. Oh my God. I wonder if that's, first off, I wonder when this book was published. I couldn't find that information, but also I wonder if that's still accurate. Also in Australia, Burma, India, Namibia. Just because I'm dumb doesn't mean I can't try to learn. Help. How do you pronounce Namibia? Namibia. In the United States. Oh, in California. No way. Used for necklaces, costume jewelry, and objects d'art. When cut in cabochon, the surface shows chatoyance reminiscence of the eyes of a cat. Red tiger's eye is artificially dyed. What? Ooh, to see a tiger's eye matrix, see page 218. Y'all, I could make a whole career happily out of just sitting here reading books to you. Poorly. But thank you for clicking on my face. What page am I looking for? 218. Now, I didn't know that that was called tiger's eye matrix. I always just called it tiger iron. But look at that. If I had that piece in my collection, I'd never sell it. That is gorgeous. But look at that one, though. That looks like a planet. Oh, I wish I could make my own cabochons. One day. just because I think I could very easily lose myself down a very deep rabbit hole of just finding like rocks in the street, in the creek, just wherever, and then bringing it home and either tumbling it or trying to cut and polish it just to see what happens. The publishing date of a book is listed in the impressum, usually at the beginning of a book. And that's where I was looking. That's it. I'm very impressed by the words that you're using. 2.2-inch tiger's eye from Rochester, Australia is the record so far. That's pretty big. I shouldn't laugh like that, but I saw something on Instagram that like a feller had like a scrape on his back and he was putting ointment on it. And his lady friend came up and was like, "Oh my God, that's so big. Are you okay?" And he was like, "It's just a little cut." And she was like, "It's big." And he went, "That is big." All right, I'm looking for the thing in the front of the book. My husband finds rocks and makes cabochons. Does he really? What kind of setup does he have? Because I was looking. Behold, this is the front of the book. Right? And so this is where I was expecting to find that information. And then it goes right into the bam, centerfold like style cover page. And then just right into the contents. Somebody buy this woman a rock quarry. You don't even got to buy it for me. Just get me like a season pass or something. That's a fancy hat right there. Kingston 6 wheels with water. Okay. Because I was looking, and I'm glad that we didn't because we ended up needing every penny. But at the end of 2025, we were like, we got a little bit of money sitting in the bank. Let's see about, we were really strongly looking at, what's it called? The Cab King. In the Kingston North, I think they have a 6 and an 8 wheel, though my wires might be getting crossed on that. But I was like, oh, I didn't know which one I wanted to get and anything like that. Ooh, Angie says, I want to go digging. Never been, ever. I'm going to be going digging. Hey, Randy?
Yeah?
Can we go crystal digging for the camp along this year at Ron Coleman Mine?
Maybe.
Maybe. We got a maybe out of them. We'll have to book it and make sure that we can, like, we'll have to get it figured out. But if y'all want to come crystal mining with me at the Ron Coleman Mine the last weekend in September, I'm going to try to be there. We got the Kingston North, and he finds stones everywhere. Oh, that's so cool. Let's do it. We're doing it. All right, I'm supposed to be picking an order so that we can be productive. Stop having fun. We have to work. No, never. Ooh, so Z32. Oh, look at this red jasper. Now, I've seen some pieces of tiger's eye that had hematite and red jasper inclusions in them, and I just thought that was so pretty. My love is labradorite. I call them my poor girl's opal because I have no money to buy an Australian opal. Oh my God. Right? First off, but I am honored to own an opal that was actually sent to me for my birthday one year, like a long time ago, by Roy's Rocks in Australia. Like he goes out and he finds like it. This isn't a paid sponsorship or anything, y'all, but if you haven't and you're interested in opals and in gem cutting, check out Roy's Rocks. There's a ton of information. Like he's very fun to watch and he's so informative and just a super cool cat who plays with opals. So, I mean, come on. But look at this red jasper. Everybody say bye-bye to it. It's going off to its new home. Go, bye-bye. Into its bag. Yay, crystal mining vlog soon. Well, it's going to be at the end of September, so soon's relative, but you bet your butt cheeks I'm going to be vlogging it, though. That's a business trip. I have an opal that is a palm stone. Oh my gosh. Well, hey, Khalidi, how's it going? Happy Magical Rock Friday. And it's the first day of spring and our tulips are popping off. Like, we had a winter place in Mount Ida, Arkansas, dug crystals all the time. No way, Sharon, really? Okay, you would spend so much of your time at the Cab King once you get it. Oh. Have you guys had any like issues with it? Like, how's the maintenance on it? Or like is there anything that's like, oh, I didn't expect that to happen? Because I kept looking for reasons not to get one. And I even have the space carved out for it in like our old like closet or something that's down here. I can't even picture a palm sized, like a palm stone sized opal. All right, we got Z30, we got Z23. Ooh, nope, that's the wrong one. What's this one? The Z25. Ooh, that's gonna be a really pretty, just a really pretty rose quartz, which I don't know how y'all feel about this. But first off, I love there's almost like a chevron inclusion pattern in the grain of this one. But you can back semi-translucent gemstones with like a little bit of like silver foil if you're setting it into polymer clay, or you could put like a coppery nail polish behind it, or actually set it in copper or silver, and that translucent effect. I mean, you can there's a lot of fun to be had in kind of mixed media doctoring up. Like PBO paints would work really well just onto the back of them, almost like you're doing a resin pour on the back of a glass cab. I mean, I don't know if I'd do that on like a something like this. I would do that. It would be cool. Well, hello, my love. Sup? I gotta fix your shirt. There we go. We got another order?
Yes. Is Kimberly in the chat?
Is there a Kimberly in the chat? I feel like we're doing a seance. Kimberly, are you here?
Because these can't be grooved.
Oh, no. Oh, I should definitely... All of these gemstones, we can't groove them, you guys. The sides of them are way too thin. Whenever we groove a cab, it needs to be... Do you see how the... Thank God I got a big forehead. It makes a great backdrop. Do you see the difference? I need something to be shaped like this for me to be able to groove it. On these ones, if I groove it, it just chips the whole front edge. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and refund the added groove, but we're not able to do a groove on these. I'm sorry, I didn't say that right out the gate. It's a brown opal too. It's neat. I'll post a picture later. Okay. Barbie says I have a water opal. It's so pretty. It has to be stored in water. I've never heard of that. Rose quartz is an awesome heart chakra crystal. Oh my God, yes it is. Did I just... Z23? I gotta focus, y'all. Z12. Ooh, that's a really pretty green aventurine. Bam! Now, also, we do have a video showing how to add grooves to your own cabochons, but if a cabochon breaks, like after you've bought it from us, like if you're grooving it or something, it's no longer our responsibility. So groove at your own peril. Z12. Ooh, ah! She got the very first one. Everybody said bye-bye to this one, which I think is one of the most beautiful highlights. I just love the, I used to ride the school bus when I was in like, well, like the whole time until I got like a job after school and stuff. But the seat texture, and because we lived way out in the sticks, so it was like at least a 45-minute bus ride for me to get from school to home. So I did a whole lot of either staring out the window or kind of like zoning out, just looking at the back of the like the leather patterns on the seat. And that's the patterning in the howlite reminds me so much of that like texture, because you can see like faces and shapes and just all sorts of different things in that in the leather, or in the leatherette like seats. I always groove at my own peril. Well, hey Kirby, how's it going? I've never heard of that. Oh yeah, the adding a groove is probably one of my favorite things. And if I can focus myself, Z13, boom, this one's going to its new home. Look at that. Oh, that flash. And sometimes there's like, I never know if I want a stone. Oh, I like that one that way. I never know how I want it till I turn it and see how the light hits it. And then there we go. That's the last one for that one. And then we've got a couple of Z30s going off to its new home. And now, just like how I was talking about with the rose quartz, this opalite is a fantastic, you could back it with just whatever color. Like I'm going to hold this fused glass cab up behind it, and you can kind of see how whatever is behind it can translate through. So if you had it over something metallic, like, do you see like the texture in this cup that my friend Laura gave me? But so you could do some like polymer clay or textured metal or whatever your heart desires, and then set that on the back of this stone and have it like show through. And I think that's a really fun thing to do. Kirby says, I'm blessed, and you? Blessed beyond what I deserve. I'm going to say it's been a fantastic day so far. I'm really enjoying the first day of spring. Z28 is a green aventurine. Can labradorite be grooved? Not on our website. It can in general, but if I can groove it, I go ahead and pre-groove it, because again, sometimes you'll get breakage and stuff. Say bye-bye to this one. And then, but in general, on our website, if it doesn't already have a groove on it, as far as the gemstones go, then I can't groove it. Now, with all of our fused glass, that's what the add a groove option is for. And it talks about that in the add a groove description. At least it should. I hope it does. Z24. Ooh, another beautiful red jasper. I just love the deep earthy color of that and just the finish of it. Hey, Randy.
Yeah.
Am I imagining it, or do you like red jasper as well?
It's okay.
It's okay. Is it moss agate that I'm thinking of that you like so well? Randy loves a good moss agate. He loves a lousy one too. Like, though I don't know what a lousy I don't know what a lousy moss agate would be. Like, I guess if maybe it's just like, I've never met a rock I didn't like. I'm gonna be honest. Z21. Another tiger's eye. Look at that beautiful, beautiful. Now I wonder, is the blue tiger's eye, is that dyed? Or is that like heat treated? Or does it just look that way? Is that hawk's eye? And then another highlight. Z17. Do 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 do. The red jasper looks like tomato soup. Oh fuck yeah, I love tomato soup. Sorry. Let me show you this highlight before. Ooh, a sacral chaka. Is that like, that's like the bottom one, or is that the root? I need ocean jasper. Ooh, dig some of that out of your stash. I'm gonna be honest, any ocean jasper I get my hands on, I hoard because it's gorgeous. I also really like aquaterra jasper. So everybody say bye-bye to this one. Bye-bye, highlight. And now we get to crafting. So if y'all are crafting along with me, you could be using your craft along kit materials, or you don't have to get our kit. I just do that because I have bills. But you could just use some 20 gauge, 18 gauge, or 16 gauge. In the kits, we sent out 20 gauge and 28 gauge. But today I'm going to be using some of that 28 gauge, some of the 18 gauge, and then some of the 16 gauge, because again, we had done this style of wrap in last week's live stream, which is available for rewatch, but we also have a tutorial coming out. And then, because I know that it's not everybody's cup of tea, so I try to do tutorials where I'm like straight to the point and good at teaching or something. But I also wanted to show you guys, because I've had a lot of folks, well, like 3, that's a lot to me, but I've had some folks send me emails and be like, what are we gonna do about sterling silver prices? And I'm like, I don't know, I've never had money to craft in sterling silver, but I've always just used parawire, which is an enameled copper core wire. They do have a silver filled on their website as well, but some folks will be like, well, I don't like using craft wire because it yellows under UV exposure, like just over time. And I have had that happen with the silver-plated silver parawire. I have not had it happen with the titanium-toned silver-plated. So here you can see those 2 metals right next to each other. So one is kind of like a brighter silver, and the other one's this. I really like the titanium because it really matches like stainless steel, which I usually use for my clasps and for my chainmail, so that makes it match really well. And I also think it matches up really nicely with if you are also using antiqued sterling silver, like if you oxidize it and polish it. So if I needed to make ear wires, but sterling silver irritated the ears of my client, I would use parawire or niobium or surgical steel. But it's good to have options. Hawk's eye is red to my knowledge. Blue tiger's eye is not heat treated or dyed. Oh, okay. Carnelians are beautiful too. And I love like a nice, any kind of stripy, gorgeous agate. Just so pretty. Um, hey Patio. Oh my God, how are you doing? I don't think it's dyed. I believe I have real colors. Maybe not though. I don't know. I need to go to another gem and mineral show because I just want to go and touch some strange rocks. Sarah says, "Do you recommend parawire for absolute beginners?" Yes. Oh my God, yes. And the gauge that 20 gauge is a really good starting wire because you can make wrapped links with it. It doesn't take a ton of hand strength to build up. It's great for making earrings, and you can do some pendants. Let me grab one and show you what it looks like because, well, I'll wait. So if heaven forbid, if my house burnt down and I had, or for some reason I had to start my craft stash from scratch. There we go. If I had to start from scratch, I would reinvest in 16 gauge, 18 gauge, and 20 gauge. And then I'd get a spool each from Parawire of 26 gauge and 28 gauge. And if I had it in my budget, I'd get a little bit of 18 gauge half round. Yep. Those are what I use the most now. Those are my favorites. And there's just about, I've yet to find a tutorial online that I can't at least tweak a little bit and still be able to follow along with those 6 or 7. I don't know. I'd end up just like this again. There's no helping me. Um, but yeah, Parawire is some good stuff. I like them. Carnelian. Oh. Owed Pro say he's always he's my troll. He's my favorite troll. I'm so bad. I'm so bad about missing comments and stuff. So if you guys, if I missed your comment, just send it again. Is opalite a stone or a glass? It's a glass. I'm pretty sure, like, I can buy rods of opalite borosilicate glass that looks exactly the same. But, like, it's been a while since I've done it in a stream, but you can see over here in my very neglected Lampwork glass desk, I used to be a little bit of a snob, you guys, and be like, well, I don't want to use glass in my work. I want to use real stuff. I want to use gemstones. And then to actually make my own fused glass, and to make Lampwork glass beads, it's the closest to real life, like, alchemy. Because when I'm working on the torch, I have this flame. It's a dual fuel torch. So we have propane and oxygen mixing at the surface of the torch as the flame exits. And I use like a blast shield because I've got delicate skin. And it stops whenever the bead explodes. If I'm being rambunctious, it protects me. But I've got my mandrel in this hand, so stainless steel, and then I've got a rod of soft glass, a soda glass, and entering into the flame, and I have to keep this hand rolling because I'm juggling between, or dancing rather, with gravity that's always pulling that molten glass down towards the table. And so hence the rolling and the chemistry of the glass, because you don't want to scorch it. And depending on how much copper or how much sulfur or whatever else is in the glass, it depends on, you can get different effects by having it in different areas of the flame. And then dealing with the flame itself, I can turn it up, I can turn it down, I can increase the oxygen or the propane. Like, it gave me such a deep respect for glass that even like factory manufactured glass, I'm still like, oh, that's so pretty. I just love it. And it kind of, it's like getting to participate. It's like I can't make a gemstone myself. I don't have the eons that it takes, but I can stack glass in my home kiln and try to, make my own striped agates, or something. Like it's a lot of fun. So that cured me of my prudiness. Ooh, London Girl says, I have that same Jen book, just found it. It was originally published in German in 1997 with a lot of updates. Latest edition is from 2019. Info's on the last page. Thank you, London Girl. Oh my God. Uh, I'm still back on the comment that red jasper looks like tomato soup. That's my favorite. Like, when y'all get sick, I should do a poll. Chicken noodle or tomato soup or something else. Ooh. Oh, here, let me, I have my necklace on. Everyone loves it. Ah, Itzy, I'm so glad it arrived safely. Oh. Well, hey, Kelly, how's it going? Thank you. It's the first day of spring. I wanted to, get dressed up. We should get our chainmail from now, Vaughn? I don't know. Whoever you want, I suppose. I have seen some beef between, like, some folks will be like boo about the ring lord and like yay about steampunk garage, and I'm like, or you could buy from both of them, because like I don't think the ring lord is bad. Like, I don't know, like but I get my stuff from the ring lord, just because that's who I started with and I'm very familiar with their website, so it's easy for my smooth soup brain. I really like Chainmail Joe. I've gotten some stuff from like Blue Buddha Boutique, but I don't even know if they're still in business. We've Got Mail has some really great like enameled copper and like different kits and stuff, but those can be a little bit slippery. So I don't know if I'd recommend that to complete beginners. Um, there's Steampunk Garage. I think there's somebody else who does like fantastic like anodized titanium stuff. So it's like, I don't know, get a little bit from everybody. Um, Oh, opalite is man-made glass. It's such a beautiful glow. It really does. I just love it. Are you ever thinking of silversmithing, like bench work? Yes. And I'll show you the state of my bench right this second. It's a travesty, but I do have grand ambitions to one day get into metalsmithing. I'll probably start with copper if I can, just because I used to be really afraid of fire, and then I started doing lampwork glass, and that cured me because, like, I mean, you can only feel so much before your nerves are just gone, and so long as I wear my good clothing so my clothing isn't getting melted to me, and I just practice torch safety, and it's no, like, I get burnt more cooking than I do on my torch. So I just got to be mindful and careful. And so that kind of cured me of being terrified. Like, I'm still like, I get a little sweaty every time I turn a torch on. I'm like, whoo, because I am flammable and made of meat, 100%. But so I used to be scared of like soldering and stuff, but I just haven't really tried again since all those years ago when I tried last time. But I do hope. It's in my heart. It's in my heart still. Oh, I'd love to do bench work. I think there's somebody up in Kansas City who does like a hands-on class, and I think that's in my mind. I had set it not even onto a back burner, but I had like set it off the stove and was like, I'll take a class and like just learn. But I've been saying that for years. I know tomato soup is sore throat. That's fair. That's a really good point. I gotta say, if the Norse used to reveal glass beads as a treasure worth a Jarl's ransom, then people should treat it with just as much reverence and respect. It totally is a stone. Right on. I only use copper. After polished, it looks like a rose gold, and it's great for oxidation. I have no money for sterling silver. Same. Chicken soup, we got a lot of... Ooh, chicken soup with tortellini. That sounds good. Chicken soup. Glad you guys are doing well. Hey, Crazy. We're doing really well. We're actually fixing to start crafting. I promise. Any day now. Okay, I wanted to show you guys. Tomato was my jam, especially with grilled cheese. That's what Mama used to make. Ooh! CJR says, I love the fit. I gotta show it off, y'all. This is some of the tie-dye by my friend Carrie with Unleash the Goddess. And we got our cut-up leggings and my hair flowers. It's the first day of spring. They're coming for me. No. But, and then, of course, jewelry by Back to Earth Creations, which, by the way, we have an auction next Friday, if anybody wants some stuff. My favorite game is Final Fantasy IX. Oh, with BB, and you just remind me of the beauty of the game. Aw, I imagine you having a shop there with your husband. Randy, would you move to Final Fantasy IX with me and open up a shop? Just say yes. Please.
I'm gonna say no.
What? Why no? Which Final Fantasy game would you rather have a shop in?
8.
8?
Definitely 8.
Why 4?
Globally, it's the safest.
Oh, really? He's very don't get stabbed oriented. I'd go sit. I would be so happy to be isekai'd into being an NPC in some like fantastical town.
Realize that in Final Fantasy IX, almost every town you go to gets destroyed.
I live on the edge, baby.
Yeah.
Does it cost extra to add a groove? It does. We do a $2 fee because my little hands hurt and it burns through blades relatively, not quickly, but they are expensive and I have to replace them. But this piece here, I'm going to show you two pieces that are very similar. And I don't know if you'll be able to see much of a difference at all, but this one was done entirely with 20 gauge and it gives it a very nice light, airy, like very kind of like delicate look, I think. And then this one has 20 gauge for the inner wire, or wait, no, this one's 18 gauge for both, but we had done one that had 20 gauge for the inner wire and that was pretty nice too. So just there on the side, you can see it's a very minimal difference, but the difference is there. So we're going to get to wrapping and oh my God, Karen, she says, I've lost 24 pounds in the 2 weeks taking my diabetic injection. I hope that that's doing for you what you were hoping for. I know that's got to be easier to be moving around and stuff. I'm only 30 pounds down, but, actually, I'm only 20 pounds down. Your girl gained some back because I'm a good eater. But even just that little bit made just functioning so much easier, and I still have about 80 pounds to go. So I'm cheering for you, Mama Kay. Aw, well, you're very sweet, Enchanting Moon. Thank you for saying so. Do you have an easy way to figure out what wire you have? Hubby was wire wrapping, and I have spools out of packages, and I do not know what is what. I'm guessing gauge is most important to figure out. Okay, let me show you a tool. Now, I don't know if they sell this on... Where you at? There you are. Huzzah. Wait, I can't get to you. So I had gotten this in like a Potomac bead box, and I bet you can find some online because this is just like laser cut out on a piece of acrylic, but it has these little gauge holes. Super handy tool. I wonder if you'd be able to use electrical pliers. Would those have like a gauge on them? But yeah, I would just search for a wire gauge measuring tool and go from there. Okay, so hot the fire engines are running. Right, I'm about to go get a fan. Hey, Randy, can you hook me up with a clip-on fan? Thank you, baby. All right, so we're going to get this camera flipped around, and we're going to get to crafting, you guys. Hopefully. Oh, I'll just right there. Oh, man, that's nice. Thank you, baby. Yeah, I'm all done. It is a very cool tool. I don't know, because people's screen names don't always line up with, like, the name that they purchase under, if that makes sense. Okay. So, I have no idea. Propool says, Wendy. He's just making a face at you, Propool. I don't know what to, I don't know what to tell you. But, so we're going to start with, now, if you find yourself with a wire that does tarnish a lot, or not tarnish necessarily, but that does discolor under UV exposure, I think it's fantastic to use as a core wire to something that isn't going to oxidize. Or like, so I could even use this, since I know it's going to discolor over time if it's left outside. I could wrap it with a bare copper and oxidize and stuff, but that way I'm not using Like, and that's actually a little bit of a, I'm always honest about it if I do it, but in the few pieces that I have done with sterling silver, I would use this wire as the core to do the coiling, because unless I'm doing like torch work or something to shape the ends, I don't need all that to be pure sterling silver. Are you kidding me? Like, that's gonna be expensive. So, if there's a crafter, there's a way. Oh, that makes total sense, Amir. And just because we can, look at that kitty cat. She just laying there. Well, that's not a very good view, but I don't want to take the camera out of the tripod again. She is enjoying her heated blanket. She's at that age that she's always cold. All right, which one should we wrap? Left or right?
Pick three, my lord.
This is pick 3, my lord. I don't think you do worldwide shipping. I would really love your grooved cabochons. Might make my own, but I'm so scared. Is it a common thing I can buy as a beginner? You can do it. You can do it, Sarah. We currently don't ship internationally, like outside of the United States, for our website orders, just because it's like $30 baseline for shipping and it doesn't always show up. But you can totally, um, you can totally do it. Check out our How to Groove a Cabochon video, because it's mostly having the tools, because I use a Griffette grinder that's like about this big, and it's called a Twofer's jewelry bit. It looks kind of like a top hat, and it's essentially just like a rotary coming up out of, but it does its own like water bath, so you can like, in if it's where the grinding bit, I take the stone and I just press it, and it goes around, and then it's done. That's basically it. It's a little hard on the hands. It's the machine burns out. Like, I run through one like every couple of years. So that's why we charge what we do for the grooving, is so that I can have a little like replacement fund for whenever I burn out my grinder. Ooh, the one on the right. Okay. My fluffy marshmallow is sat next to me. Oh, Itsy. So I'm going to start by using my nylon jaw pliers to straighten out some of this 16 gauge wire. And we're going to use about 12 inches. Left, says Pro. We'll do the left one next.
He also said right.
He did. But also did Sarah, so. Ooh, that's a good question. Mimi's Thoughts says, can you make head pins with parawire? Technically, yes. They will ball up. They're often poxed because there's the enameling, and it'll totally ruin your enameling. So I don't recommend it. But if you have some scrap wire and you just want to practice, just be careful, because that enameling can pop and sizzle and kind of shoot off a little. And I don't care for that. And so now I'm going to do an 18 gauge. Just because you can set the 16 gauge, but it just sits like on top of the groove. And I have set some like that, but whenever I do that, I make sure that it's this style of setting where there's no gap down at the bottom. Whereas if we're going to be having a gap in there, I want whatever inner wire that I'm using to be able to nestle very comfortably into the stone, which is why I'm using the 18 gauge. And if you get our craft along kit, you will have at least one groovy cab in it, and for the month of March, in this same style of, like, this is the tutorial that's coming out this Sunday. Like, I show you how to set a little spiral and do the weaving and coming around. I show how to make a wire bead, like a coiled wire bead. I'm just here to confuse, says Pro. Not to spoil your fun, but I woke up confused, buddy. I had such weird dreams last night, so... But I appreciate you. So far we've used... These are the tools that we've used, and I'm going to use my flat nose pliers. Oh, man. Now, I'm going to say, I did 12 inches of wire for this one here. Clearly, this is a much larger cab. Oh, the parawire gauges? Here, let me write them down for you. And you can like click and screenshot it. I'm just going to use the back of this page. Look at this photograph. And then I'm going to do a winky face. Man, I'm not good at hand-drawn emojis. That looks... You know what? We're just going to turn that into a heart. Oh god, I'm bad at drawing hearts too. What's happening? Take that, AI. I bet you can't replicate this. Welcome to the show. But yeah, so 16, 18, and 20 gauge for core wires. 26 gauge and 28 gauge for weaving wires. And then if you feel like getting fancy, the 18 gauge square and half round are fantastic. And I wish I had an example on hand. I do. I must rummage. Boo! Hashtag hoarding. Oh man. Okay, so one year, Randy, Maddie, and I went to a cave. We went to the Fantastic Caverns here in Missouri, and it was so much fun. But we had gotten these fossils, and I wanted to wrap them, and I think I wrapped one and gave it to Maddie. And then I had made this one for myself and made this one for Randy. So this is an example of 18 gauge round, or 18 gauge square and half round wire. So if you want to do this kind of style of wire wrapping where there's like a frame and then like wrapped wires on the sides, that's, to me, that's like fancy. Because it can be very easy to mar up the square wire and stuff, and they're a little bit more expensive than the round. Well, hey, Rand, how's it going? Oh, we're live. I thought I clicked a video. Hello. Hello. And then this is an example of, we used a little bit of half round to go across the back, but it's an 18 gauge for the frame and for this wire here that's then been coiled over. So if I want to do any sort of coiling or anything like that, that's what I'd use the 26 or 28 gauge wire on. So those are some examples of those styles of wraps. Okay, so we have these wires here. Chicken soup for me, says Mary, right on. And I'm just gonna, you can see since one's a 16 gauge and one's an 18 gauge, I'm just gonna have to bend them separately. I do hope I've given myself enough wire, but we'll know pretty quickly whether or not that's the case. Squirrel, where? Actually, I was spying on a squirrel this morning. I was laying in the hammock after planting some more spinach, and Mr. Puddums was just hanging out with me, and Z had already gone inside because he's a bum. He was like, I don't want to hang out here anymore. But I was just spying on a squirrel doing its squirrely things. So now we get to decide, how do we want our stone oriented? I say stone, this one's fused glass, but the concept remains the same. Do you think like this? I like this way. Okay. But yeah, we're going to bring this in here. And you can see how that 18 gauge wire just sits right there in that groove. And we don't have to, we're not going to like wrap it yet. And now I'm going to nestle this down in there. Oh yeah, super digging it. And then I'm going to pull off a full arm span. So for me, that's about 5 feet. I'm 5'4", but I have really short arms. So, got this big head and these little arms. Hey, Tracy, how's it going? There's like 5 in the neighbor's yard. Ooh. I'm going to line the ends up, come down and find the center point in our wire. And then I'm going to be doing the coiling on initially on the wire that is going to be, it's our inner wire. So it's going to be the one that's nestled into our groove. Well, hey, Nicole, how's it going? And I'm going to do, 10 little coils. So I've got half the wire. And one of the things that constantly gave me stress whenever I was initially getting into wire wrapping is all my freaking wires would like constantly be tangled. So I like to take the wire that's off to the left and just put it entirely off to the left of me. And if you're left-handed, just whichever side you're working on, just take the other one and just put it on that whole side of the table. Oftentimes having my pliers right here, it causes stress as well because it's just something for my wire to get tangled in. So I have one of these bamboo organizers, and you can see I have a compartment for my nylon jawed pliers because I've got my nylon jaw and then like these bracelet pliers that I just set in there. And in a perfect world, they'd all just sit like that, but you know, physics and all that. You know, actually, yeah. No, okay. And then this is my mandrels and mandrel pliers on the same, my round nose pliers, which I do like to have a petite tip and like a thicker tip. These petite ones I only really use on 20 gauge, but you may be able to see there, those are one significantly more petite than the other. And then flat nose pliers, bent nose pliers, ring clamp, which we may use here in a little bit, and then pens and such. There we go. And then I've also got like a hammer and a ring mandrel and some scissors and other things in there. But that's how I keep my tools organized. And after all these years, that's my favorite way. But I firmly believe that the more you craft and the more you practice, the more you'll find your favorite way. And that's the best way to do it, is whichever way you like best. Whatever keeps you enjoying and coming back for more crafting. Oh no, Stormy says, been down at hospital, biopsies taken. When the results from in 2 to 3 weeks, prayer would be gratefully received. Good vibes all the way, Stormy. Y'all are the greatest. Okay, we're going to do 10 coils. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm just using my pinky here to kind of push that over some. We're going to give it the good old squishy smush. That's not nearly enough. Let's do 15. We were at 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, that's way better. And then I'm just going to slide it down. And then I'm going to use the tips of my fingernails to like push, push, push. Shameless self-promotion. If you have not signed up for a free newsletter and you would like to get notifications about when we have new tutorials, live streams, shop updates, etc., please consider signing up at backtoearthcreations.com for our newsletter. It's free and it keeps you in the loop. We live stream every Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. here on YouTube. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, we live stream on Kick, where there are no advertisements. And we do all sorts of tomfoolery because there's no copyright infringement enforcement over there, so we get wild. And by wild, I mean we listen to music, but, you know, it's a party. And we have new tutorials every Sunday, which I'd love to get to where I can be posting twice a week, but I think I'm going to have to hire an editor or something because I don't like editing. I like crafting. Like, and I could do this all day. So if there's anybody watching who's an editor, just send me an email. Because I've never hired an editor before, but I'm like, I clearly cannot do both at the same time sustainably. So it might be time to outsource. We'll get it figured out. Still woozy from general anesthesia. What? And sore dry throat like tonsillitis from the throat thing they used to ink. Oh my gosh. Oh, Stormy. Behold. a distraction. So I'm doing a little bit of a 2-2 weave where it's 2 wires. We're going to risk zooming in. It's 2 wires around, ooh, I zoomed back out. 2 wires around both, 2 wires around one, 2 wires around both, 2 wires around one. And I apologize for my hands. I thought they were clean. I bathed and everything. But I've been out in the garden and you can tell. Oh my God. Everybody leave a rude comment if you're watching in the replay. That it really helps the algorithm. Love editing, but in the UK. Well, I don't think we have to like mail you anything. 1, 2, 3. That shows how little I know about editing. And then I'm going to go just 1 to bind that down because I would like to do a little bead on the cross point. And now we're going to go to the other side. And we're going to go 1, 2. Some more shameless self-promotion. If you guys are interested in learning how to wire wrap or chainmail or polymer clay and you want to craft along with me in our Friday live streams, we send out a kit every month, anywhere from $15 to $55 depending on how many craft supplies you want to get. And we do a new tutorial every month to accompany specifically for what's in that kit. And it's a great way for beefing up your craft room and your dragon's hoard of shiny things and supplies. Yeah, and it's, I don't know, I like it. If it had existed when I was getting into jewelry, I'd have done it. Like, I'd have signed up. 1, 2. And it gets you 20% off of anything in our shop. So it's a good deal. Happiness is dirt under the fingernails from gardening. It really is, Barbie. We were hoping to see how this week's shop update went, but we need to go to Lowe's to get some concrete to finish up the sidewalk and walkway from where they dug it up because they were charging us so much. We were like, we'll just do that ourselves. But we're going to go to Lowe's, and depending on how the shop update goes, I think I'm going to get some seed starting medium for starting my own seedlings, and I was going to go ahead and start those hosta seeds you sent me. Ooh, well, hey, Ferb says, I'm an artist too, based in Jamaica. Your live just popped up. Good job being consistent. Haven't a hard time just sitting and creating. Right on. Gardening, I just finished farming. Right on. Oh, I'm only on 1/4 of an acre. Man, my dream's a farm, though. But I figured I'll see what I can do. Because, like, you know, running a business and streaming and everything has been, and going around and selling at events is our main source of income. So gardening, I'm like, if I ever want to have a farm, I need to see how much I can handle while still running the business, you know? And 1/4 of an acre seems to be all I can handle at this time, but it's still in my heart that I'd love to have a farm one day. Ooh, I'm getting my garden ready. Oh, something about touching the earth is therapeutic. Dude, 100%. Well, that's really cool. Thank you for popping in. Well, I lost my pen. Thank you for popping in. Y'all, we're going to go on a field trip. Let's look at this cat. Look at this kitty cat. Oh, little baby. She's 19 years old and she's my sweetie. I remember she used to sit on this desk whenever we were very first learning how to wire wrap. I've got a picture of it somewhere, but we're going on a field trip. Also, Z's wearing his cone of shame because he won't stop trying to chew his feet and his butt off. But we're going to look for a bead. Ooh, another order. Thank you, honey. What color bead should we use? I'm thinking, all right, okay. We're going to do one of these. I've decided. I know I should. Oh, look at those little cabochons. I didn't even know I had put those in here. You want to brown chicken mouse couch. I love beads. I love beads so much. Oh, now those would be pretty too. But I kind of want to go with the faceted. I think that'll be really neat. The only bad part about having these beads here is I keep dropping them down the heater vent. So whenever the heater comes on, you can hear a bead knocking around in there. I need to get the shop vac and like, oh my gosh. And then y'all, Mr. Puddums is so dramatic. Do you see this cat? Mr. Puddums. He just lays there like nobody loves him in his whole life. We snuggled for like an hour this morning out in the garden. He's a sweetie. Mine will be 18 in August. Oh my goodness. She used to love to take my beadwork and just carry it through the house like it was her captured gazelle, and she was a lioness. Just ask her. Gardening happens year round in Australia. Oh, hey Gamnut, what are your favorite things to grow? So I'm going to take this faceted bead. Now, beads aren't in the kit, but hopefully you treat yourself and go get some beads and expand your craft selection that way. Ferb says, wish I was a cat. Same. They are good examples of how to live our best lives. Okay, so what I've got going on here, we're going to zoom back in. Oh, I was just showing you all the cats, Itsy, and getting some beads out of the bead tray. Did the little bead song, the brown chicken meow cow bead song. So this wire is coming through on the front, and this wire is coming out on the back. So I'm going to thread one wire through each way. And it's not going to wanna, but we'll figure it out. Just be patient with yourself. Be patient with the project. Look, a little bug. Aw, you gotta go. I gotta do a murdering. Oh, okay, you can live because I can't catch you. Just don't die in my drink, okay? I don't mind bugs when they're outside, but it's like, you can't just be living here rent-free in my house. Are you kidding me? A true sign of spring. Yeah, all of my houseplants have sprouted. Well, hey, Diane. How's it going? Sassy Cat says, oh, Vaughn, why you ignore the poor ginger boy? Oh, yes, he's very ignored. No, he still has, he's got his bits and pieces. We need to take him in and get him neutered because he sprays, so he cannot come into the house because he can't be trusted to not pee on all my stuff. And quite frankly, that's rude because I don't think he wants me peeing on all of his stuff, so. My shamrock plants are flowering. Oh, Domnut says, I love native plants mostly, like bottlebrush, kangaroo paw, and many more. Wow. Itsy says a fly tried going up my nose yesterday. Yeah, no. It's like personal space bugs. Come on. So we've threaded through our little faceted bicone bead, and I'm going to continue. So that's why I just did one loop around, is so that we could make it look like they're words are hard. Consistent. I don't want it to be obvious what happened. You know, I don't think I'm a magician and I'm not going to be able to fool anybody who knows what they're looking at. But to, like, you know, it just looks tidy and concise and a little on purpose. So now I'm going to pull this one forward because I like to do a little lock off stitch here. That's something I didn't do on the other ones, but if you have a little more wiggle in your bead than what you would like, then you can come around here, and I'm going to zoom out so that you can see how the wire is interacting with the rest of it, because I don't want to get tangled here. So I'm just bringing it around, there we go, from behind, and then I'm going to pull tight like that. Oh yeah. And I'm just going to do one on that side at first. And then this one is going to come around from below. Whoop, around like that. And so you can see it's just a little bit of wire on each side, but it's going to keep the bead from wiggling. And whether it's a gemstone or whether it's glass, if there's a lot of, I'm going to do a second one on each side just because it makes me happy. If there's a lot of wiggling going on, that's potential for wear and tear and chipping. So just doing a second little wire like that. And then I'm going to come through here and come down like that. Whoop. potato. Well, I love potatoes. I have a cat too. Hey, Sarah. Ooh. Oh, I love that. Stormy says to Gomnut, I love your jewelry videos. I subbed a few weeks ago. Keep them coming. Oh, what days are you uploading on, Gomnut, so I know when to keep an eye out? Because I don't get notified, like, for crap. So, if I don't put it in my little planner when to expect videos, then... So now I'm just going to wrap 1, 2 around both, and then 1, 2 around one, and then 1, 2 around both, and then 1, 2 around one. And really, once you, what I would recommend is, if you're new to this, follow along step by step as close as you can to what I do in my tutorials. But there is always room for getting a little wild and weird with it. And so you could do this with like 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 like frame wires. Like the concept remains the same. Well, hey, April says, hi, it's been a while since I could tune in. So glad to see you are still here and tutoring. Teachings, I think whatever it is that I'm doing, I'm going to be trying to teach it because that's how I learn best. So thank you for finding us again, April. Ooh, Gomnut says I usually post on either your Saturday or Sunday. Ooh, okay. Well, thank you, Gomnut. Shameless friend promotion. Everybody, let's go watch Gomnut's tutorials on Saturday or Sunday. Just because, man, feeding my brain sparks it. If that makes sense. It sparks the tinder and helps me keep that creative passion alight. Mimi's thoughts says, love you, Gomnut. I like supporting like-minded, genuine people, so couldn't say no. I love wire wrapping too and do some too. Nice. Oh, Z. He just a farting up a storm. So now we've got our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 1 and 2. Does anybody else here do tutorials and stuff? I'm always looking for new teachers to learn from. My protein shake has gotten to the stage where the ice has softened enough, and I used coffee to make the ice cubes. So it's like a coffee shaved ice, and it's my favorite. Ah, hey, Kimberly. Whimsical Creations by Kimberly says, I just subscribed to Gomnut. Oh, y'all are the greatest. And Memory says, I do in person, going to help someone learn to crochet in the park when it gets warm. Nice. Pew, dog farts, pew. I would do toots, but not got the setup. And I hate my voice. Oh, I understand that. I loved getting to teach in person, Mare. It's been so long since I've had the opportunity to, but I'm really hopeful that whenever our strategy for this year is we have some events that we're going to that are vended, like where we're setting up and vending, but then we have some that we're just attending, and we're going to go in like full dragon garb, like dragon, dressed up in our dragon outfits, and hopefully we'll be able to position ourselves so that we'll be able to teach at the conventions, teach like dragon sculpting and wire wrapping and chainmail and different things. So I saw a video for Irish potato pie. It was potatoes mashed and pressed into the shape of a pie tin and baked, and then add mash with cheese on top, like pie filling, and bake again. Well, hell yeah. It took ages to write. I can't remember what I was telling you. Oh, it's because potatoes are awesome. That's why. So from here, I'm just pressing down. We're using our 18 gauge. Now this, what we're about to do, is like the trickiest part of the whole wrap, because if you're using a gemstone and it's like pointed, especially, whenever you do this twist part, pressure from within, like oftentimes you could really just press and press and press on this, and it'll be pretty fine. Oh no, Whimsical says, hello, I'm lurking while I paint. And now I have paint on my keyboard. Oh no. Well. But whenever you twist, whenever the pressure's coming from within, it can nap off little chips, or sometimes if there's like a fracture or something in the stone, which I'm looking, this one's pretty even grained, but sometimes there'll be a stone and there'll be like where you can like tell there's a fracture line. It might flake some off unintended. So you just got to be kind of gentle and consistent with it. Oh, well, hey, Silver says, I love your work. Well, that makes my day. Thank you. Oh, no, and I didn't do that in the middle at all. I just, oh. All right, that's okay. What we're going to do is we're going to cry a little. We're just going to set it over here. We're going to cry. No, we're going to smush it. When in doubt, smush it out. Everything's going to be okay. Now, I am going to hold this just with some smooth-jawed pliers because I don't want to be scraping anything up. I'm just going to hold just the 18 gauge. And do you see how the nylon jaw, it's not perfect, but it's significantly better. And so if you mess up, ooh, don't spill my coffee. It's not the end of the world. You'll get there. Boom. All right, so now I'm gonna try it again. And I'm gonna try to honor the center line, not of where the pattern is in the stone, but where the center line on our wrap is. And so we're just going to come in here like this and boop. Twist like so. Oh yeah, that's much nicer. Oh, April says, I give you credit for when my wire wraps worked. Did my first wire wrap sparkly faceted crystal on obsidian bead as the center of a necklace for my stepmom. It came out great. Oh, that makes me so happy, April. It really is an honor to get to be helpful to y'all, because one of the most amazing things in this world, I think, is to have fun creating something and then sharing it with somebody, you know. So if I can be helpful to you in sharing that feeling, that's mission accomplished. It looks like a fish. Ooh, it kind of does. Glub glub. And I bet with a very little modification, we could turn this into a really cool, like, my bubbles. Like, who's that from Finding Nemo? Oh, Amirmir says you are super helpful. I made my mom a nest necklace for Mother's Day last year. Oh, Amirmir, that's cool. And I bet she just loved that. Okay, so I'd only done as much as what I had done here on this. So you can see they were essentially exactly the same up to that point, but I want to fill in a little bit more. So we've got the 1, 2, and so now we sew like the wires, both the needle and the thread, but we don't want to get tangled up. There we go. Flump through like that. How can I top it this year though? Give her some matching earrings. Yeah, an angelfish. So just the 1, 2, and then I'm going to come up in between them. This right here is my least favorite way of having to wrap because, I don't know, in my head it's hard. It's not that bad once you just accept fate and get to it, but this is a style of, like, it's exhausting. I would so much rather be able to just, like, come through. But sometimes what's exhausting about it is the thinking about it and the like, oh, I don't feel like doing that. But then I get to it and it's like, this actually is pretty satisfying. I just subs to you, Bernice, says Mary. Okay, so we did the 2 around just the 1, and then we're going to come through and sew. And I just want to fill that gap. Uh-oh. One. I like to support the tension from the back with my finger. And then I use my whole hand. I think that's why it's helped actually. Used to, I'd just use this much, and the pain from my hand injury happens here, predominantly. Well, hey, Betty, how's it going? It's an angelfish. It's official. Well, hey, Luke. Oh, hey, look. Okay, and so we're gonna do just thread that through there. Come around this way. I so appreciate y'all coming and hanging out with us today in our live stream. We do have some new cabochons added to the shop at backtoearthcreations.com, and we also have craft along kits. If you want to learn to make this pendant, be sure to check out our March craft along kit at backtoearthcreations.com. And we have a free newsletter that you can sign up for to get like super sweet deals and stay notified and all those different things. But I'm having such a good time hanging out with y'all and just crafting, sitting here by the window, watching the day go by. Spring is springing. There's 1 and 2. And if you enjoy our live streams and want to hang out with us while we do other crafts, I think I'm going to be finishing up the sculpture and the dragon eggs this weekend on Kick. That's kick.com. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. Ah, well, hey, Sam, how's it going? I didn't realize you had changed your screen name. Digging it, digging it. How have you been? Winter was rough. Yes, it was. And that last bit of it took out my forsythia, the red blood blooms, my daffodils, decimated a lot of my tulips, though some of them are like, winter what? Um, and it's just, I'm ready for spring. Though it's like hot today already. So, So, yeah, just filling in that gap. And I like to finish it on, let's see if we can get a zoom in of this. And again, you could use any weave that you want, and you could use multiple core wires, but I love using the grooved cab because you can see that just nestles. This is one without the wire in it. The wire just nestles right in there. And we only did one twist on this one. I kind of got distracted. So I want to take my flat nose pliers and I want to give it, just straighten it up just a little bit. And I like to use my fingernails to make sure that the wire is laying in the groove as we give it another little bit of a twist. And this is where you kind of have to be careful because the pressure from the wire can chip the cab. But just being a little careful will get you where you're going. And you can see there is no wiggle there. And so whenever I have a large gap here on the bottom, I do want to make sure to at least use an 18 gauge wire because it is stiff enough on its own to hold. Whereas on this one, you can see I filled in to add that little spiral to add pressure to the bottom. And that way there's a little bit of wiggle, but it's very minimal, and I think it'll be all right. But this is the tutorial that we have coming out this Sunday. And so now we've done the weaving up this side. We've finished it off on the 2, and then I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know why I'm counting. We're going to zoom back out. And I like to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then smush and give it a little bit of a tug. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, smush and tug. And I put my thumb over it only to strategically hide from you what it is that I'm doing. No, it helps me to feel when everything's nice and smooth. So 1, 2, 3, whoopsie, let's bend that wire up out the way. And so you can see, if it's slightly blurry, whoomp, doing just the 5 does a pretty decent job. If I were to do more than that, and if they're very wide apart, like how we've got here, let's see how that looks. Whoomp. Do you see how it has a little bit of like, man, that still came out pretty nice, but it's got, you can feel, it's got texture to it. If that happens, I like to come through with my pliers and just kind of grab it lightly and cinch around. But that is easier to avoid through practicing good technique, which I consider to be doing the coils nice and shoulder to shoulder. And so that's what I mean by that. Do you see how they're pretty close to each other? And then when we squish it, the less space we have when we smush, the less bumping and stuff we're going to get. Oh, like a raptor eye. Oh, I love that. Have to love March weather, right? Barbie says we hit 82 today. It's supposed to be 88 tomorrow and back to 54 Sunday. Mother Nature is off her meds. She a wild child, that's for sure. And so you can see we would just be shaping that around up the side. And something that I really like about this is all of the stones that I wrap traditionally end up getting a little bulky for my taste because I don't like to wear, I love big jewelry. I don't care for heavy jewelry. I'm not very likely to wear it if it's very, very heavy. But yeah, even if I just do 5, so long as I'm holding tension on the wire, even if they're spaced wide apart, then it still comes together just fine. And you can also just hold and twist. And once we get it out far enough, we can actually do a little twist, twist, twist. And we can just kind of corkscrew around. This is going to work better when we do the other side because I'm not going to have all that wire hanging off there. A Mimmer says, my package came. No one told me. I just found it on my couch. Ah, a Mimmer! Baru time. Wow, almost 90. Holy smokes. Yeah, I definitely got to get my seedlings going. That really is starting to look like an angelfish. We may have to figure out, I'll pull up like a reference or something. You know, the spacing on that came out really nice too. That worked out fantastically. Okay, so now the trick for me is to try to get it to match on the other side. So there we go. So that's 1, 2 is where we left off on this side, was the 2 around 1. And we can count. We did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 repetitions. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I only need to fit like 4 more. Okay, we can do that. So just looping through. Oh yeah, very satisfying. Amira says, oh my god, I was worried on size. It's perfect. Oh, Amira, that makes me so happy. And all the tie-dyes that you got from us have been pre-faded and pre-shrunk, so you don't have to worry about the color fading out on you or them shrinking. Like, we got you, girl. He looks like a fish. We could totally lean into that. I'm not going to right this second because I really want to, Ooh, ooh. I had an idea, though. I'm going to set this off to the side. We've got our little notebook here. And it's like my notes today. I was supposed to show off the new items in the shop update. Oh, and that's the that's the club coupon. Next week is our auction. I hope to have the gallery up to date by Monday, complete with the starting bid prices. We're supposed to promote the kits that for this, and then encourage newsletter signups. So, yeah, we did all that. Okay. So we're gonna design ourselves a little fish, y'all, because I think. So that's our stone. I just want to share this process with you guys because you do not have to be good at drawing to sketch. Then the more that you do something, the better you'll get at it. I promise. Like, I can't guarantee that you'll ever feel great about it, but you will improve with practice. It's just how it works. And then, so we started with the 2 wires. And then so that's what I'm drawing here. That's the wire that goes down into the groove. Okay, and it's going to go, that's representative of the little twist that's happening here. And then it doesn't have to make sense to anybody other than you. And then we've got a little bead here, just because I think that's cute. It makes the fish look like he's going, But something you could really fill in the gap with, I'm going to draw another example over here. So if you wanted the stone to be farther back, you could do a cross line with multiple seed beads. Like, is an idea. Because you could do the coil, coil, coil. I usually do that representative with just some little dashes. And then it's not to scale, but just to let myself know what's going on. Ah, Sassy Cat says, right, I can't draw animals, but I sure can sculpt them. Go figure. Well, that is so cool. Can you tell us more about that? Hey, Andy, how's it going? And so we've got that. And then this is our 16 gauge wire. Whoops. Whoopsie, don't be afraid to use your eraser. My husband had an art teacher who made it out like it was a crime to use your eraser. And it's like, bro, what? What are you talking about? Oh, April says, and this is some wisdom right here, I've come to accept that whatever I do, I always like it more after the passage of time. When I first finish, I'm usually unsatisfied with it. I get that from my mama. Oh, goodness. Well, I must have gotten it from your mama too, but I completely understand what you're saying because, like, with my dragon sculptures or with my jewelry, like, after I've just put all the time and energy and effort into it, I'm like, ugh. But if I set it down and just walk away, especially like if I see it again a couple of days later, I'll be like, oh, wow. And if I see it, like pictures of it, like years later, I'll actually catch myself being like, man, I wish I made nice jewelry. Like, but it's like, but I did years ago. Like, come on, Vaughn. So maybe it's a crafter thing. Trisella says, I love that crab. It works so well with that amazingly cute fish. Oh. What kind of animals do you sculpt, Sassy Cat? So this is pretty much what we have going on here. But what I would do is I would add in 2 additional wires at least, because we still need this 16 gauge wire here because that's what the wire is going to come off on. Hey, Wandy, could you find me a picture of an angelfish? And Mary says, I'm wearing your tie-dye and my dragon tooth, and I popped on a dress. Didn't plan on changing, but I'm so excited. Ah, magic girl transformation. Oh, April says your dragon sculptures are the bomb. I don't even get me started on your jewelry. Oh, April. I hope y'all are as kind to yourselves as you are to me. Now, I don't know where his fin placement is, but like right off the top of my head, I'm like, he probably has some fins here, and then like those little butt fins, and then like his big like angel butt fin. But that's too big for jewelry. That's ridiculous. Let's ring that thing in. So we might just do like a little, unless we were making a sun catcher. Fish tutorial, glub glub mother cluckers. So, and then it's got like, so it doesn't have to be good. You just got to get it down. And then my wonderful husband, my beautiful Sasquatch, is bringing me Look at that fish. Oh
Which is
my
different
gosh.
than what I originally found.
Oh yeah.
Anglefish.
Oh, what's an anglefish?
It's an angler fish.
Oh, an anglerfish. I like that one. That one's my favorite. I'm gonna make that one.
Which is the deep sea. It's got a light on it and it bites things.
Ooh, oh, what if we made an anglerfish? We're gonna have to do a whole series of fish. Y'all, okay, if I could quit my job and have one skill, like, instead,
Fart money.
fart money?
You said if I could have one skill.
Oh, you'd just fart money. You'd fart and money would come out of your body.
Yeah.
Whose currency? Can I vote for gold
I can
coins?
Eat beans.
You can eat beans.
It don't matter.
No, I would love to be a mermaid. Like one of the, not like a literal bound to the sea, like fish-butted mermaid, but just one of the people who's like good at swimming and holding their breath and being a graceful mermaid person with like a silicone tail.
You should plug your phone in.
You should plug your phone in.
Or you have.
Oh, I did? I thought I did earlier. A fish mobile with a bunch of fish. That'd be so cool. Okay, but I so admire the athleticism and skill that goes into this is gonna be a little big to wear for a pendant, y'all. We're gonna get creative. Do what?
Make it a small cat.
Oh, I thought you said something about cats.
No.
But what if we just did the suggestion of the little fishy butt, fishy fluff? I forget how his tail looked. Glub glub. But yeah, if I could quit my job and join the circus, I would be a mermaid aerialist who could juggle and walk on my hands. Because wouldn't that be cool? Just like when the mermaid pops up out of her like water exhibit at the Ren Fair, if she just like walked on her hands over. I don't know. I dig that. So now this wire is going to come back and join right there. Because it's art, y'all. Nobody can be like, fish don't look like that. You can be like, it's a magic fish. Duh. Oh, a sun catcher. Now that's a good idea. We could go really wild with the... And what's making me think, like, what I'm thinking is that if it were a sun catcher, you could do those resin dipped. Like, I see people make really pretty petals out of them. Well, they'll make like a wire loop and shape it so, and then dip it in the resin. April says, my niece did the mermaid thing at the Ren Fair one year. More power to all those chicks. So strong and able to hold your breath for so long. Right? I pretend that I'm training to be a mermaid whenever we're at the gym and I'm swimming in the pool. So I would add a little bit of texture right here just because that makes me happy. But this is how it costs nothing but paper, pencil, and time to sketch out some different design elements. And then from here, that's how I join. And also, you can write ideas down anywhere. And I've got ideas in here from when Taco has butt cheeks. From whenever I didn't date it. I've started dating things since then. We actually have the tutorial up for this. I think it was a March craft along kit some years ago. But like, ooh, and the groovy earrings. But yeah, I try to save all this stuff. Oh, notes from past Vaughn. It's good to have gained some sort of wisdom that feels worth writing down. I liked that necklace. And then like, yeah, ideas don't go bad. So there's stuff that I've drawn out that it's like technical skill, art, and efficiency. Money. Dollar bills. Aw. That one always catches my eye. I'm not failing when I'm having a hard time. Well, hey, Saki girl. How's it going? But yeah, so it's... Ooh, was that a pretty leaf? Look at these pretty leaves. Where even was I that I got my hands on some ginkgo leaves? That'd be so cool to electroform them. Look at the texture on that. Oh.
Huntsville, Alabama?
We were in Huntsville?
I think so.
What were we doing in Huntsville?
We were having dinner with Christina.
Oh, at the
Yeah.
faux place?
Yeah.
Oh, we were taking inventory. But yeah, so And you'll notice a lot of this stuff was just written on random notepads and then got like cut out and taped in. So you got to start somewhere. If you never start writing your ideas down, you'll never get in the habit of it. You can always make it smaller. Smaller cab equals smaller frame and fins. Tutorial first, then time to experiment with the fishies. But yeah, so I would just do that and it would transition to where now the coil is here and I would do the wire here like that. Actually, that would be all this coiling would be a fresh wire, and we could do additional beads, but I would still do that wire first, and then I would be working over here and I'd go like that and have it cross through. And you never have to stick to the plan. You don't even have to complete writing it down. Just getting the gist of it will be enough to remind our future selves, oh yeah, I was going to do a thing and stuff. Slips of paper from everywhere of everything you can imagine on my mother's with snippets of writing, drawing, press leaves like your ginkgo leaves there. The tape runner, like, or two-sided tape comes in super handy. Well, hey, Wesley, how's it going? It's nice in Virginia. Nice. Oh, I haven't been to Virginia since Winter Storm Nemo. Oh, things are going really well, Saki girl. We're just making some jewelry and hanging out. I got to spend quite a bit of time in the garden this morning and earlier this week. So I'm a little sore from just hours and hours outside, but it makes me happy. I got sunshine on a cloudy day. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Uh-oh, I'm getting tangled in my wires. That makes me wild. But we just got to be patient with ourselves. Like, oftentimes if I'm finding myself getting frustrated, it's because subconsciously I had some sort of expectation. And so if I just slow down and be like, yo, why are you mad? Then, it's like, oh, it's because I feel foolish that I got tangled up, or I'm tired of getting tangled up, or, you know, um, I don't want to break my wire and I'm worried about that. And so oftentimes just setting down the project and walking away from it for a little bit will help me to ease my frustration. Maybe, it's a sign that I'm not actually frustrated with myself. I just need a little bit of a break. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And how many were we doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Now, I'm blessed with strong fingernails. Let me zoom in and show you guys if you're wanting to scooch your wires down, but your fingernails aren't as strong as you'd like them to be and they bend on you. I put my pliers on there and it's loose enough that it slides, but tight enough that it'll catch the edge of the coiled wire. And then you can just compress it down that way. And that'll make a little bit of space. April says, gardening is so grounding. Wish I was better at it. Thanks for the advice about wire breakage. Going to have to do that. I think the only way to get better is to do it. And okay, story time. Years and years ago is 2007, and I was a senior in high school, and I wanted to start a garden. We were living out on Randy's grandparents' land. Well, his dad was serving in the military, so he needed a house sitter. So we were like, we can do that. We can live in your house and pay all the bills and make sure everything, nothing burns down. And it was our first home together. We had a like little 1-bedroom apartment in Texas, but we were only there for a couple of months before we ended up moving. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, one more. And I did everything wrong. I planted my tomato seeds directly in the ground in March after we had scraped back all of the topsoil that had the grass roots in it. And this is southern Tennessee, so like all we had was just clay. And it's March, so like still too early. And it's just, nothing grew, nothing made it, nothing did well. But I loved it. I loved the whole experience of just being outside and the excitement and the hope. And I think gardening's good not for growing food, but just being in the habit of doing something with the hope that it's going to bear fruit, and then just like leaving it in the earth's hands, you know, just like I planted the seed, I got to trust that it'll sprout. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then this is our last one. And Randy was very supportive, even though I was literally no good at it. Like, it's I would plant seeds in my own little seed trays, and then I'd dig them up to see if they had sprouted. You're not supposed to do that, but you know, here I was. Um, and whenever we moved into our apartment, I started a balcony garden. And I was like, well, that should be good because if it gets cold, I can just bring the pots in. And but it was like northern facing, uh, covered porch, so it didn't get enough light. It didn't get enough water. Like everything was in too small of a pot. Again, nothing grew, but I just so much loved doing it that Randy was really supportive, and he was supportive enough that I was like, man, he really, you know, I don't want to let him down. I'll keep at it. And he was like, well, I don't, you know, she sucks at this. Like, I don't think he used that word, but he was like, she's terrible at it, but she loves it so much. Of course, you know, because we had very little money. Um, and even now, whenever it's like we broke AF after getting the water line replaced, um, but this morning I'd asked him, I was like, when we go to Lowe's to get concrete, if they have cabbage seedlings out, can I get some? Or like, I think I was actually asking for pansies. But and he was like, yeah, baby. And it's like, we don't have money to be spending on plants. Are you shitting me? But I just love it. But, and now it's, you know, I actually went in, like, probably 5 or 6 years ago, went and took the local master gardener course. And, you know, like, I've gotten decent enough at it that, I mean, plants live a little longer. But if it's in your heart to enjoy something, you gotta do it. You gotta try it. Ooh, most of my designs come from dreaming to waking state. Oh, Stormy, that is so cool. Digging them up to see if they'd sprouted. I did that. Yeah, keep at it, girl. You'll get there. But I like was a serial killer of plants for like 4 or 5 years before like before anything actually started to experience its full life cycle. So, I mean, I feel bad, but that's how it was happening. Itzy says, I have to doodle any ideas as soon as I get them because I will forget as soon as I get disturbed. That makes sense. That totally looks like a tiger barb. Oh, hey, Tim. I don't know what a tiger barb is, but I love it. We actually drew up a little fish design. It's not what I'm making right this second, but I'll have to search tiger barb and see because I think it would need at least a few more wires. Like, we could even do like 3. I don't know. I don't want to just make up like a fantasy fish. Oh, and I think we actually have an order. So let's pick orders for a moment. Oh, I'm going to get that flipped around. Get this flipped around. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I have a sneeze. Excuse me. I'm sorry. When the sneeze is here, I have to. I can't hold them in or I'll pop. We have an order. Thank you so much for your order. Oh, it looks like we have... So a lot of the gemstones that we added this week, we haven't had in stock in a long time. So this is all we have left, actually. Last week, we sold out on our groovy cabochons, but I don't know if we're going to get that this week. But that's all right. I can't come to expect a complete shop sellout every time. But if you do find yourself in the mood to shop, be sure to use coupon code HAPPYCRAFTER to get 10% off of your order, or sign up for a free newsletter and join our Happy Crafter Club if you want. But that'll get you the 20% off coupon. Let's see. We have Z31. Oh, what a pretty rose quartz. And this one actually has, I don't know if you'll be able to see, I clicked the wrong button. It has like a V in it. So everybody say bye-bye to this rose quartz. It's going to go off to its new home. Ooh, and bye, Stormy. Thanks so much for hanging out. Good luck to you. Green Aventuring Z20. Oh, That is a really pretty one. I just love that cool green tone. Everybody say bye-bye to that one. I love green aventurine with antique copper is probably one of my favorite combos. And then Z16. This one's a beautiful red jasper with some quartz inclusions or something, it looks like. Pardon me, I don't mean to be. Plant basil with tomatoes and chamomile with any plant that is having a hard time. It is the nursemaid to plants. Ooh, okay. Is that Roman or German chamomile, I wonder? Thank you so much for the order that you placed. Oh, well, thank you, April. It's the first day of spring. I wanted to get sprung. So, and then German chamomile, right on. Have you considered making your designs in bezel wire and then filling them with colored resin? We were just talking about doing like resin dips for like the fish wings. No, fins for the fish fins. But hey Wastaka, how's it going? I'm gonna see if we can do a little bit of a something I haven't done in a minute. But we're gonna start by just coiling. I don't know if there's enough weight on this one. And what I mean by that is, used to on some of our larger pieces, I just put it over my head and spin it. But this one, I think we can just corkscrew. So what's happening here is I have the wire. It's like I am the drill. Instead of using a drill to coil it. And then I just blah, 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 blah. But I used to go, we can still do it. Woo! I like it better the other way because see, that makes it a little too loose. Smush. That compressed quite a bit. How can I check on my order to see if it's shipped yet? Kimmy Sue, I'm pretty sure we have shipped it to you. We check your spam folder because our website auto sends shipping confirmation, but you can also always just send us an email to backtoearthcreations@yahoo.com or through the contact form on our website, and we'll just hunt down your tracking info and get you updated on that. So, and there we go. That's my favorite way. But when we got all these other wires and stuff, but that's perfect because usually it's at the end of a project that my elbow's hurting me and I'm like, oh, I kind of want to be done with this part. And then we can just be real quick about it. If you can figure out how to make the shapes, I'd be willing to buy some of them. That'll probably would require soldering. Yeah, possibly. But if we can't make it, maybe there's another creator who can. Okay, spring cabs, best cabs. Nice. So I'm just bending it around the edge.
Looks like Kimmy's is in Florida.
It's made it to Florida, is what Randy says, Kimmy. But you can still send us an email and we'll get you your tracking info. Ooh! April says, love the dragon eye necklace you're wearing. That's what it looks like to me. I have dragons on the brain. Go for it, Wesley. You should try it. So it actually was going to start as a dragon eye. But then I decided I liked it so much as a leaf. And I didn't really want to wear it like that. I very much prefer this shape on me. But we did a tutorial on it. But I hadn't antiqued it for the tutorial. I thought I was just going to leave it as is. But I kind of felt like it looked like a magical little seed pod. So this one's actually going to be in the auction that we're having a week from today here on YouTube from 3 to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. This, and do y'all want to see the other stuff that's going to be in the auction? We should have it up on the website, like the auction gallery. This is what I'm supposed to be doing tomorrow morning. But I don't know, because if we go to Lowe's and I get some cabbage, I'm going to need to plant them. But we have been so busy, you guys. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Randy has been making all of these chainmail bracelets. We're going to have quite a few things to choose from up on the website auction, you guys. So just to grab a sampling off the top. We have some luscious, colorful, finely woven, I think, not to brag, but I think Randy makes some of the best chainmail I've ever come across. His closures are meticulously even. Randy's very, very good at being consistent and deliberate. And look at that, he even made some like amazing box chain. But yeah, bunches of different chainmail bracelets. We have some wire wrap rings. Like basically, if in the past 3 months, if we've made a tutorial about it or if we made it in a live stream, it's going to be up on the auction. We have our dragon fang glow in the dark earrings. Will be going up into the auction. And then the thing I'm probably most excited about is we have these little glow in the dark and blacklight reactive hand sculpted mushrooms that have quartz crystals from our friend Ganja Girl over on Kik, who had dug them up her own self and then just sent them to us out of the kindness of her heart. So I had made her one, which let me show you how hers looks, because that's another tutorial that we have coming out, y'all. And I also need to do a little bit of shameless self-promotion. So over on Kik, we've been doing giveaways. So this is the one that I made for Ganja Girl. I don't know if she saw it yet, but I hand painted the top with my new acrylic markers and sealed it in resin. And I just absolutely love it. But that one's for her. And I even doodled her a little doodle to go in with her box. And that kind of sparked something in me that I was like, you know, I'd love to just give away some doodles. So I needed to send them out, but I wanted to get pictures and video of them. So we actually have a video of drawing this one, and I like did a voiceover for it where I was like talking about rediscovering my creative spark. Like for those of y'all who've been following the channel for years, I'm sure you've noticed we have some ups and downs and different things, and it's been a true but worthwhile struggle to maintain my enthusiasm for creating and teaching through financial hardship, physical hardship with health and injury, and just like it's been a doozy. But I wanted to talk a little bit about it because you never know when somebody else is going through something and just needs to hear some words of encouragement. But if I can get through it, y'all can get through it. But this one was our first giveaway doodle, and then this past Monday, this one is our giveaway doodle, which I don't know which way's up or which way's down, but you can definitely see. And I just love those acrylic markers. And this one we used colored pencils with too, but we do these in our Monday live streams over on Kik. So if you guys want a chance to win, we also have our level 7 chat giveaway, which you have the whole month, every month. Like we did it for February and we've done it for March too, but anybody who reaches level 7 in chat wins. This month it was our dragon fang pendant jewelry. You got to pick whichever one you want. In February we did our dragon eye necklaces, and so if you feel like you're not lucky but you like to type and chat and stuff, you'll get to level 7. You will win some free stuff. So those are different things to check out over on Kik. But it's just been so fun because I love making things for sale, but I love making things to just give away. And so back to the auction. This one's got a little rose quartz. It's a natural rose quartz, so it's not been dyed, so you can't really see the pink in it, especially on camera. But it was so fun to do the painting on the top of those. And all of these, we've got some that are just small little crystals in a couple of colors. We've got, ooh, that one I showed you. Oh, this one's one of my favorites. This one has a moss agate. These are going to be going up into the auction this Friday, so keep an eye out. We'll be posting them to the auction gallery on the website, hopefully. But yeah, this is it's quite a bit. I have my work cut out for me for sure, but I figure, you know, if we don't make it, it's not going to sell, so we gotta make it and hope. I've been living with chronic pain after being a passenger in a truck accident. Oh my gosh, in 1988. I've had many surgeries, but I still have pain 24/7. Oh no, Mary Beth. Ooh, Wesley says, do you have a link to your Kik profile? There we go. Randy got you hooked up with that. But and if anybody wants to, like, if you're like, I really want to be there, sign up for our free newsletter, because we do send out the streaming link right before we go live, like every time. So, or we try to be consistent about it. What were we doing? Oh yeah. Okay, I'm gonna get this flipped back around, and then I will be right back, y'all. I gotta go refill my water, because your girl's gotta hydrate so you don't dehydrate. Do 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 do. And I'm gonna leave this here for if anybody just wanders on through. Okay, I'll be back. Woo. Well, thank you. Alrighty, I am back. Here we go. Wesley says, I'm literally in the same condition. The only difference is that my 1988 accident was on a motorcycle. Oh my goodness. Ooh, Mary Beth says, how do I sign up for the newsletter? You go to our website, backtoearthcreations.com. Let's see if we can get that pulled up. So this is our website, and if you scroll down right here, you just type in your email address and then click sign up, and that puts you into our newsletter. And then also you can come to our website and just see what's new as far as what tutorials we have. And then you can also see our newest social media posts as well. So, and then this down here that's our streaming schedule, as well as the different markets and stuff we'll be doing this year, which I'm really excited about. I'm still waiting to hear back on whether or not we got accepted into the SoonerCon art show. But other than that, all of the other ones are pretty set in stone. Like we're certain that we're going to be doing them and stuff. So I hope that that's helpful to you. All right. So here we are. And now, so 12 inches works, but it would have been nice to have a little bit more to work with. And this is where we could do the bail with more 28 gauge wire, or we can come in and use some 18 gauge half round. And that's what's going to give us that nice wrapped look. And now there, you can tell which side on Parawire they wrap it flat side out. Typically is how they do their spools in my experience. But you can always tell because the flat side is going to have a flash solid across the surface. Whereas the round side, the flash has like a darkness onto each side of it. So you can really kind of tell that's the rounded side and that's the flat side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to give myself 9 inches for the bail. Because this is around I'm actually going to do 10 because this is around 16 gauge wire. If I were doing this around 20 gauge wire, this would get me a much longer bail than around a thicker core wire. It just takes up space and it seems like it's minuscule, but it adds up so much. Okay, so I'm just going to squeeze these sides in a little bit, get them lined up. And then I'm going to bend, whoop, just straight up. Oh my gosh, that's so lucky that it came out relatively centered up because it doesn't always work out like that for me. And if that's the case, like actually I want to do both of these a little closer in. So I'm just going to straighten it out. Thwomp, thwomp. And then I'm going to move up just a little and do that bend. You could use a marker, just a Sharpie marker or some sort of permanent marker to mark where you want your bend to be. But I ain't about that life. So there's that. And now, ideally, our wire would have extended all the way up to the top here, but it's not the end of the world. I'll show you. And so now we're going to take these sides and push them off to the side. And I'm going to line the flat side of our wire up to our core wires. Well, hey, Mama Kay, how's it going? Ooh, she says, have you seen where they are using silicone stamps as inserts and painting them with micro or new resin projects? I haven't seen that. That sounds cool, though. So, like, I'll have to look into that. That sounds really interesting. So I've squished it just a little bit. I want it to still be able to move on the core wires. I just wanted to make sure that they're nice and snug up against each other. And then here, I'm going to be bending the bail forward. So I'm going to trim right there so that it's centered up. And then I'm going to smush it or slide it down. And this is where we're really going to squish it nice and secure. And then I'm going to continue lashing this around. And we can really just get those out of the way entirely. Now, if I were to do like this, you have to be mindful of how it twists your core wires. Hey, Brenda, how's it going? And I don't mind that it's twisting right there because we'll be able to relax that back out. I just don't want these wires twisting inside of the coiling that we're doing. Mary Beth says, I had gotten a lot of relief for a short time when I got my first spinal cord implant, but once they tried replacing it, it hasn't worked at all. I have to have another surgery for any hope. Oh, man. Health is certainly a blessing that I take for granted, and my hand injury and then the chronic joint pain I've been dealing with have been reminders of that, but I'm always grateful for low pain days, and I've been trying to work on my own, like, neuroplastic pain, because it's not that it's in my head, it's just that I'm sometimes, like, my tailbone is this way. The rest of the muscles and nerves around my tailbone, after I had bruised it, are still so used to it being in pain that they'll get tight almost out of habit and bring the pain back up. But sitting on a hot water bottle and, like, swapping out my ice packs and doing my breathing exercises and, like, really trying to consistently mindfully just pay attention to the pain without letting it consume me and just, like, relaxing into it a little bit has been helping, at least as a coping mechanism. But that's just my experience with it, and I hope that I never experience, I know that that won't be the case, but a girl can still hope that I'll never experience pain that's worse than that for as long as possible. Yep, April says we really don't appreciate a pain-free body until we don't have one. Amen. Okay, so you can see that got us a pretty decent, for my bales, for about this size, I like to have about an inch and a half, yeah, inch and a quarter to an inch and a half of space. Now I'm going to come in here and I'm going to go ahead and do our first bend, boop, with that 16 gauge. And then we can use, I'm really digging this size on my mandrel here lately. April says broken tailbones are insanely debilitating. I did that as a teen and do not recommend. Yeah, it's been, especially since I sit, all of freaking time. And it was really bad this time last year because we did like a 17-hour car ride and it was to go see Randy's mama as she was passing. And so we were trying to get there in time, so we didn't stop and take any breaks except for gas. And that exacerbated my tailbone so badly that it took months before it was and even now, like, it still flares up, but it's fine. It is what it is. I have pain, but I am not just my pain, is what I tell myself. Okay, so we're going to come in here, and we're going to come through like that. But it was wonderful to get to make it to see Randy's mama. And say bye. And... Oh, thank you, honey. So I'm just shaping this around, and again, we do have a full-length tutorial coming out. Thank you, April. She was the best mother-in-law I've ever had. No, but she was a blessing. And so I'm just cinching this down. How lucky are we to have people in our lives that make saying goodbye so hard. And I'm going to do a third wrap. Oh, really, Itzy? She says, I went to the doctor's at 16 about my hips trying to dislocate. He laughed at me. Well, now I'm 50 and I finally get to see a specialist. Oh, goodness. But yeah, so you can see this is why I like to use a thinner gauge for the inner wire to the outer one. Because if they were both the same gauge, they'd be struggling against each other. Whereas on this one, the 18 gauge is consistently giving way to the 16. So the 16 isn't bending all around all over the place, which that makes me really happy. So now I'm just going to kind of push those up just a little bit. You need a gel cushion. Oh, I've got a couple of them, Tracy. My fancy sitting cushions, but my feet my feet don't reach the floor, so if I sit on my cushion for too long, my hamstrings start to hurt. Tim says, am I the only one who thought she was making a fish? No. I think everybody thought I was making a fish. And we even have a design for a fish. But we'll be doing that for the next one. So I don't know, we could go through. It feels a little late game. I'd rather start from the tip, the little fish nose. Oh, April. She says, as usual, you're making this look easy. Anybody who's picked up wire, all y'all know this is not easy. But practice makes progress. And the wire will fight you every step of the way sometimes, but you'll get there. You'll get the hang of it. Okay, so now we have 4 coils on each side. I don't have quite enough to do the same pattern on this as here. But I don't know, maybe. It feels like the wire's coming in from the wrong... usually I'd have done it with this wire to come through and do the thwoomp and then the thwoomp. So I'm just not going to be doing that this time. I'm going to be feeding that through. Now we could add in another wire and make it... Stick a boxer stool under your feet. These are good tips, and I have the things over there. Like I've got my little yoga block to put my feet on. I just don't because I'm getting up and down or moving around and stuff. And that's been what helps me the most is I have a standing desk now, so I'm not spending all day sitting. And especially whenever we're doing our kick live streams and I'm sculpting, I get to stand up and move around more. But whenever, like, these live streams are particularly hard if it's a bad tailbone day because I'm just in one spot. I'm just doing the wire wrapping. We don't have different camera angles and stuff, but not at all complaining, just an observation. Okay, so now from here, we're going to take this and we're going to go like whomp. Oh, well, thank you. And that's actually something that I love about this desk. It's actually an old sewing desk, but it's got this bar right across there that I'll actually put my little feet on, but you can see I can barely reach them. So that's okay though. We'll get there. I gotta have something to complain about. Okay, so from here, I would like to cut these to be the same length. So I'm just going to move them straight up like they're going woo up at the top. There we go. And now I'm going to use my round nose pliers. Well, thank you. I mean, yeah, patience helps, but it's a lot of fun. And I'm just a big old fan of spirals anyhow. But you don't have to do spirals. You could do something else. And you know, I don't even know if I like the spiral there. We can make like a super chunky owl. I'll keep that in mind, Mary. I'm learning that instead of just trying to find ways to accommodate my pain, it's like I'm trying to listen to my body. Like if my hand's acting up, it's not that it's like oftentimes I'll go and I'll be like, oh, I'll just use this instead. And like, but really I need to just take a break. Like if that makes sense. Because that's been the whole point of being self-employed and doing all this is I don't want to, you know, it certainly isn't the financial stress and all that that brought me to this. It's wanting to be able to live my own life and go out to the garden in the morning and take breaks when I need to take breaks. So I'm trying to learn to let myself take breaks. Okay, so now we've got that moving towards the front. April says, I love spirals. Me too. And it's been so long since I've let myself indulge in them because I don't want to be like, I've been carrying trauma. But back in like 2018, our Instagram really started to take off. And that's whenever I discovered I was like, I don't like that. Um, like, I don't want to be in front of everybody who's got like every little opinion that they're going to share because people would like just kind of be ugly about my work. And I internalized a lot of it. And even if they weren't being ugly at my work, like going and seeing my friends' posts and people being mean to them in the comments, it's like it made me like insecure in my own style and stuff. And I didn't realize how much I had internalized so much of that until now I'm trying to work through it because it, oh no, the spirals don't match. What do we do? Well, we're going to get in here. And I'm just going to tighten down, providing pressure on the back side. I don't want to be biting through the wire with my pliers. I love the spirals too. Thank you guys. Oh, totally digging the 2 layers. Okay, now I gotta wipe off on my... I don't use lotion, I use body oil, so I leave like oily fingerprints on everything. But your girl's hydrated. Moisturized. Moist. Ooh, April says, where do I find a really good pair of snips? These were $6 from the electronics section on Amazon. They're electrical pliers. They're just flush cutters, and I love them. You can see they eat through the 16 gauge without batting an eyelash. Like, there we go. And that's the back side. And the name of this glass, we had gotten it from Art Glass Supplies. It's a Delphi chocolate. And so that's how this wrap looks modified for a larger stone. And the tutorial will be coming out this Sunday. So if anybody wants to learn how to do this in a slightly more concise than a live stream video, be sure to check that out. I'd meant to go ahead and get it listed up to the website, and I hadn't. Just there seems to not be enough hours in the day. But let me see, I can write that down in my to-do. What was it that okay, put tutorial on website. Okay, there we go. So yeah, so that is essentially our shop update and live stream for the day. So do y'all have any questions or anything, or any requests of things that you'd like demonstrated? But yeah, I super duper love that slightly more dainty 20 gauge wire wrap. And typically, if it's a smaller stone, like this is the biggest that I would go with wrapping with 20 gauge, and that's why a lot of the cabs that were in this month's craft along kit are that size. But whenever we size up, that's whenever I increase the wire gauge as well, because that dainty, too many to ask for, don't want to be greedy. Well, I've got, technically, I'm supposed to stream for 20 more minutes. So we've got 20 minutes of just Q&A time, and I don't exaggerate, you guys, whenever I say that it gives me purpose to be helpful to y'all. It gives me purpose to be helpful to y'all. So the more questions you guys have, the better I sleep at night. So, and the more like accomplished it makes me feel at the end of the day, because like vanity metrics, like views and likes and stuff, helping somebody. And I almost have all of my coffee, all the coffee cubes melted. So I don't know, we could wrap another cab. We got 20 minutes. We got 19 minutes. Do y'all want to do just like a nice simple wrap grooved lab? Because I kind of do. Let me go grab my stones. So here we have some more labradorites. Oh, that one's very pretty. What shape should we wrap? Should we do this super tiny oval? Or should we do a 2-stone piece? I don't know. How do you make an owl with wire? I shall show you, if I can remember. Oh, well, thank you. We made, these were given to me by my friend Holly. She had come to take one of our leatherworking classes back whenever I used to teach at the Tandy Leather in Springfield. And she had been watching our YouTube videos for a while at that point. So, but they're just my favorite because I love peridot green, but I had never seen it set in silver. And it makes me think of her every time I wear them. And she's just so badass. She actually keeps really cool like fish in aquariums and stuff. And then this one we made in a recent tutorial. But very carefully. This is Wesley. Alrighty, so if we were to make an owl with wire, let's get to it. Now, I've never made one with a groovy cab before, but we do have a tutorial on how to make them with Oksana Crafts, actually, is a really good tutorial. I'd recommend following hers, actually. So let's see. We've got that. We're going to be using 18 gauge wire. And let's go ahead and give ourselves like 20 inches. And we're going to go ahead and... Whoop, whoop. Now we could use just round wire, but I'm going to use the half round because I really do love it. Ooh, Rachel says, I need a good source for chains that I can trust for copper. Now that one's something that I've been hearing all sorts of folks struggle on so hard that a lot of folks have just started making their own. I like to use the plated iron in an antique copper tone from the Ringlord or Panda Hall Express because it looks like antiqued copper, but it is not. It doesn't leave a green tarnish on my skin. And we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 because we need a bunch. This is probably more than what we need, but we'll see. 12 inches of our half round wire. You may want to check riogrande.com. They're really good. Fire Mountain Gems might not have some, but if they did, I would trust them on what, like, whenever Fire Mountain Gems says the metal content, they mean it. They don't just, you know, they don't misrepresent their products. Okay, so I don't know if we'd be able to do some little feetsies, but I am going to have, we're going to use this round, really nice copper flash labradorite. Finding copper chain is a huge challenge. I'd be interested if anyone finds it. Yeah, for sure. And so I'm just going to bring this around. And then we're going to do the little twist tie twist, just lining up this cross here with the tip. There we go. And I'm going to do 2 of them just because it really locks it in. And then I'm going to squish it with my flat nose pliers. Looking pretty good. And I'm going to tighten it up actually. Making sure if we can that those wires are actually setting into the groove. So this one's going to have 3 twists, but that's okay. And now we're going to go like boop and boop. Ooh! April says, I made an owl dream catcher before, but I really want to do one with wires, so thanks. Yeah! Jill says, please repeat the name. The Ringlord and Panda Hall have the plated iron. Otherwise, I'd recommend Fire Mountain Gems or Rio Grande. And if anybody else has any recommendations down in chat, that would be phenomenal. And then I'm gonna... I just want these 2 wires to be as parallel and flat as possible. So you can see how they're coming off that twist, but then going nice and flat again. And then we're going to line up our half round wire, flat side to the wire. And just wrapping it on around. Wrap, wrap, wrap your wire. Do 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 do. Boop, boop, do 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 do. Do 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 do. Ooh, Wesley says, I frequently use silk or round leather cord. That certainly is a workaround. And I bet the silk cord feels fantastic to wear. Panda Hall on the plated iron. We actually have, I think, a video, Mary Beth, showing different wire from Panda Haul. And so I'm just really pressing that down if I can, giving it a nice little squish there, and then continuing to twist this around. Oh, thank you. I love labradorites. Like, whoop, see, I don't want to be getting a twist in it. My favorite way of compressing whenever I have thicker wire is to put my pliers on here enough so that they slide freely, but it'll catch the edge of the wire, and then you just compress down that away. And you get the old squishy smush. Ooh, right on. So this is going to be very loosely based on an Oksana Crafts tutorial that I highly recommend, but the modification is that we're using one of our grooved cabochons. And I think that might be enough. So it looks like we only needed 11, 10, 9. It looks like we only need about 8 inches of the half round wire, but that's okay because this is enough. Not a bad piece of scrap, still usable, you know. And then smushing that. I'm going to use this size, about like the 4mm size on my mandrel, and I'm going to bend towards the front side of the stone. Oh, that's way too high up. Okay. I'm going to come down to like right here. There we go. Because I don't want to cover up too much of the stone, but also I'm going to take this and we're going to bend the wires up. And this is going to make like his little beak. And so let's go ahead and compress that with the old smushy squish. And then coming around here, we can, you might be able to kind of see at this point, you could do like a heart, you could do all sorts of stuff. Like, that's kind of cute. Oh my god, look at that with a heart. Well, he's going to have, these are going to be the eyeballs. So, hey, Randy?
Mm-hmm.
Can you let Z outside for me, please?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Is he guessing?
A little bit, yeah. He just seems like he wants to go out. Thank you, baby. And so I'm trying to make the pupils relatively symmetrical. But if they're not, don't worry about it. He'll be like me when I was a kid. I had to wear a patch for my lazy eye for like 2 years. So, that okay. I hear puppy feet, right? He's such a good boy. I think his tummy's been bothering him though, so I'm glad Randy was able to let him out. And then I'm just going to build up our spiral for the eye. It almost makes him look like he's wearing spectacles. It's not perfectly round, and that's okay. He might just have little crazy eyes. Sometimes you just gotta love something for what it is. I'm doing the best I can, honey. And then I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to tuck that end down and through. And I want to tuck this end down and through. Before I'm going to hold with my thumb right here, like if we draw an imaginary line through this cross point here, I'm going to hold that down and then I'm going to press in on that side. And then I'm going to try to do the same thing on this side. So just pressing in for his little chicken wing, chicken wing. Hot dog and bologna. Is your wire tutorial under wire wrapping on your playlist? It should be. It should be. So, hot dog and bologna. So now I'm going to pull this through. And I don't know, I'm just experimenting. I've not done it this way before, so we'll see how it goes. I'm kind of digging it. Wings! Yep. Ah, Rachel says, I remember that tutorial from Oksana. I made one for me. She does such good videos, you guys. And then, but yeah, so you can like recognize those Oksana elements in this. That makes me so happy. Thank you, honey. And so it's really covered more of the stone than what I think I would have originally liked. But oh well. It's fine. And I'm going to shape this around. And just thread it through. My hand's sweaty. Taking a little bit of a stretch and a bend. Then getting back to it. There we go. Bringing that around. And that, whoa, I'm just snipping right there on the back. Maybe you'll be able to see better on this side. But I'm just snipping right there. Because we can get in there with our bent nose pliers and give it the old squishy smush. And it just makes it look like a little closed wire wrapped loop. Which with it being 18 gauge, if it's good enough for something like this, then it's good enough for something like this. Oh, I kind of love that. Oh my gosh. All right. It needs a little something another up top here. So let's see if we can with like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that used just about every bit of the wire we had pulled off to do the doubled up wing like that. Because now from here we can actually holding it down in the front and just pressing up and in the back. Yeah, if you like it wetter this way. But if not, that's all right. Have mercy on my thumbnails. And so, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 7 inches. Ah, thank you, April. And I'm just gonna bend a little bend, dream a little dream. Boop. Favorite thing for a ring mandrel, other than making rings on it, is just having something. Normally I'll use like the neck of a bottle or something, but sometimes it's just hard to beat having a ring mandrel. Ooh, hey Kathy, the auction is a week from today from 3 to 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I do hope to have our auction gallery up on the website and ready with the starting bid prices on Monday. Ooh, Rachel says, do you know Susan from Perfect Twisted Wire? She spoke about your work. Maybe. I'm going to be honest. I'm a really bad friend. She spoke good things. Oh, that's fantastic. Is it perfectly twisted or perfect twisted? Well, that's very kind of her to speak kindly of me. I live under a little self-imposed antisocial rock, and I don't know why. Okay, so I want to make like some little, all right, I know I said it earlier, I wasn't about that life, but we're going to use a pen. Or a Sharpie marker. Because I don't want his little, how tall should little owl horns be? Okay. So that's where I'm going to have the little owl. Thank you, baby. I'm going to go a little over today. Just to get done with this pendant. All right, he says. And I'm going to hold on this side because that's the side that I want to stay flat. And so I'm going to take this and I'm going to bend it. Whoop, just reshaping. It's not very sharp at all, but we can improve upon that momentarily. Oh, yeah, April. Oh, perfectly. Right. Oh. I'm definitely familiar with the brand, but I don't think I've gotten to meet Susan in person. But I think I follow her on Instagram. Let's see. How do we like that? I love it. That's how I like it. Okay. And this is where I'm going to pull off some of our 28 gauge wire. Another full arm span just because it's my favorite. And I'm going to find the ends of our wire. To find the middle. And then I'm just going to offset it a little bit. 1, 2. Sorry, I was sneezing, so I hit the mute button. 3, at least I hope it muted it. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oops, that back wrapped over itself. 9 and 10. Give it the old squishy smush. And then center it up over the middle here. Pardon me. Jolly, just curious, have you ever considered doing live with Andy at CCUK? He does not really interviews, more like conversations with makers, and a lot of smaller YouTube channels gain subscribers afterwards. Dude, that'd be super cool. Oh, thank you so much, Whimsical. It posted perfectly twisted jewelry. I had to go find it. Well, thank you for sharing that. I haven't. Again, I don't know why I've been this way, but I've been very, like, Antisocial makes it sound like I'm hostile, and I'm not. I'm just a hermit who doesn't talk to anybody else online. Very much, very much. Oh, well, hey, Bogard, how's it going? We're just trying to make a little wire wrapped owl here. We made this one earlier today using one of our groovy cabs. So it just holds in on the sides there. And so I think I want to... So we can sew to the little eye here. And I'm going to figure eight it because I feel like that gives me, not only do I get to enter from the front, which I prefer, but the figure eight I think does a fantastic job of securely lashing things together with a little less twist than just doing a 1-1. Pardon me, I don't mean to have the sniffles in your ear, but spring is springing here in our neck of the woods, and my allergies are having a heyday. So I just did the one to come through. It kind of reoriented our wire to where I can now sew through the front, but now I'm going to sew around both of them. Plans only survive the first interaction with reality, so. That's what she said. Oh, every Tuesday afternoon. Wow, right on. And so I'm going to do a second one. Ooh, Whimsical says I just unboxed all of my wire wrapping stuff that's been boxed up for about 2 years, mostly because I saw this cool AF web done with glass beads for dewdrops. That's really cool. God, it's a great feeling to feel inspired back into a craft, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Give it the old squishy smush. And now I'm going to try to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, I gotta unplug this so I can plug my tablet in because it's only at 15. I've well gone over for today. Well, y'all, I'm gonna be honest. My hand and elbow hurt. I've gone over for the day and I'm cutting into my garden and chicken time. And I love you guys, but I gotta go hang out with my chickens. So, we're gonna finish up this wire wrap in tomorrow's kick stream. And we'll be streaming from 3 to 6 p.m. Central Standard Time here in our craft room. And so you can come check out how to get all finished up with that. And we're also going to be, let me show you guys, because we're going to be finishing up our dragon sculpture. Well, hopefully I'll be getting it done tomorrow, but we'll certainly at the very least just be working on it. And so I'm going to be adding in some of the final facial details. She needs some filled in around her gums and stuff, but it is time. And since we got everything made that we're going to have made for the auction, I can now get back to working on her. And then in the downtime, I might be sculpting some more on these dragon egg halves. And but yeah, that's going to be us in the craft room. So we will see you guys hopefully tomorrow over at kick.com/back-to-earth-creations. Be sure to sign up for our free newsletter if you want to get the streaming link sent directly to you. And thank you all so much for being here and hanging out with me. I've had a fantastic time. Happy first day of spring. Mwah, and happy crafting. Bye, y'all.